Yay! God.
Stop talking about him. He's not funny at all. He's not worth talking about. Anyway. Good afternoon, folks. Welcome to Smudcast number 455. Cops are liars. Yes, everyone knows it's Renegade Cut Day.
Based.
Yeah, cops are liars. Yay. I guess, absolutist statements are absolutely not true, but, this happens pretty common with most arguments on YouTube. They make these big, grandiose, broad brush statements.
I'm just saying, when did he ever interact with British police? That's my question, because they lie all the time. But oh well.
I think we can all say everyone who is a person who happens to be a cop doesn't automatically make them a liar. Yeah. There has to be some scenarios where you think they're lying to you, or they're trying to get something out of you, or something's happening. Yeah. Something's going down.
Yeah.
Where you're a little uncomfortable. You're like, all right, this guy is not quite being clear to me. But in most cases, where you interact with the police, they knock on your door, or they pull you aside. You kind of.
I'll be honest with you. Most interactions with the police, they really don't care, because they just don't care. They're like, oh, more paperwork, great.
Yeah, they don't have time to deal with lying and subterfuge and planting evidence, all this other weird stuff you see on with cop drama shows where they're doing all these nefarious stuff behind the scenes.
Yeah. It's not The Wire, I will give them that.
Yeah. So there's nothing inherent about being a cop that makes you a liar, I don't think. There's nothing specific to the job that makes you a liar. You can say the same thing of lawyers are liars, but they are inherently biased to their job and to their client. If you're a defense attorney, obviously you're biased to defending your client. If you're prosecution, that's the same idea. So does that mean you're lying? Not necessarily. It just means you are focusing your thoughts and ideas in a certain way. With cops, it's the law. Yeah. That's all it is. They are there to uphold the law and protect people from other people. That's about it. So, not that complicated. Yes, there are good cops. Yes, there are bad cops.
Yeah, you can say the worst you can say is, especially with I'm only speaking from the UK, because I've never had a dealing with American police or anything like that. The worst I can say is they're incredibly lazy.
Right.
That's the worst. That's the worst I can say about it, because especially in the UK, if they can get out of dealing with a crime, they'll get out of dealing with a crime.
It is dangerous to deal with crimes, and I don't know how it is in the UK.
I mean, any sort of. I mean, if you say, ring up and say, I've lost. Someone's broken into my car. I mean, if you get a police officer to come and look at your car and even take a statement from you, you're doing quite well. But that's just the UK. I can't speak for I could never speak for American police.
Right. Yeah, it's a little different in the North Americas. We have cops who are armed, and if they so much as unbuckle their gun, they have to write a report on why and how and what was the case and yada yada. So there's a lot of paperwork involved, a lot of monitoring, a lot of not canvassing. What's the word I'm looking for? They just, depending on what kind of role you have in the police force, you're probably checking out a lot of neighborhoods. You're just going through them, making sure everyone's okay. Patrolling, that's what I was going to say.
Patrolling, that's it, yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm sorry, there's been very few police officers patrolling in the UK for years now.
Oh yeah, okay. Well, that's the general job. There's very specific operations they have to do, of course. Whatever their boss says they have to do, they go do. But lying, I don't know, because I do know actual cops. I do have family members who are part of, in Canada, we have the RCMP and Constabulary. So it's they get paid well. They have to do their job very well. If not, they get retrained or they get sacked. It's very simple. So they are some of the best. Now, again, there are some bad cops out there. We've had them over the years. We've had one, I think this guy shot some guy on a streetcar who was on drugs.
Well, in the UK, if no one remembers, during, was it last year? a police officer murdered a woman in London, which caused a hoo-ha about they wanted to put a curfew on men.
Oh.
I don't know if anyone remembers that. Sarah Everard was her name. Yeah, a police officer murdered her. Told him that obviously he was a police officer. She felt safe, and then he murdered her, and raped her, and everything like that. And so there's a big whole thing about whether men should have a curfew in the UK to protect women. That happened. So
I think the latest one I remember hearing, at least, was in was it the States? It was Kim Potter. She was a cop with her partner, and she was trying to apprehend a guy who was speeding on the highway. She pulled out her real gun as opposed to a taser, and just last month she was found guilty of manslaughter on almost all counts. So this was a very experienced police officer. She made one mistake and it cost someone's life. And not to say the guy was upstanding citizen or whatever, but still, like, these bad things happen all the time. So it's part of life. You make mistakes, and sadly, with police officers, people die. So I understand the animosity and the sensitivity of these topics, but I do not like painting anyone with a broad brush, especially our cops.
Oh yeah,
it's just logically ridiculous. Like you can't say this. Everyone who's a priest is a child molester. It's like, wait a second, that's not.
Yeah, it's going too far.
Yeah, that's pretty harsh. Now, if you said everyone who's Catholic is a kiddie fiddler, I'd be 100%. No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
That's going to be taken out of context, isn't it?
Right. Okay, so this video came out last year, December 23rd. Oh, right before Christmas.
Oh.
Has about 132,000 views. I guess that's pretty normal for Renegade Cut. It's 21 minutes long. This will take some time.
The thing is that we all know that he's just going to go through all the left-wing rhetoric about everything, and then we're just going to be sat here going, no.
All right.
The usual fucking stuff.
Alrighty. Well, here's Mo Lester. Thanks for the one, Mo. Plot twist: since Renegade Cut is a liar himself, and his premise is that cops are liars, he himself is going to come out in support of police. Okay.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, that's a good find.
You know, what was the numbers for the states that have defunded the police? The increase in crime as soon as that happened?
It's embarrassing. Let's not talk about it, shall we?
Okay. I thought that'd be interesting. It's like, yeah, cops are bad. Let's get rid of them. And then, crime has increased. Gee, who saw that coming?
I did look up, like, when was this video released, and it's like not even a month ago.
Yeah. So who knows? Maybe he's made a great video and everyone loves it. It's fantastic. He's great commentary, great insight into humanity and social issues surrounding, I don't know, society as a whole in America.
Yeah. Anyway, not, but okay.
Anyway, pigs are flying, but let's keep going. There's 10 seconds you won't never get back.
Yep.
20 seconds that you will never get back.
A man you do not know and certainly do not trust asks you to step out of the car.
No.
You're talking about yourself?
A man you do not trust. You should have a level of trust in the police officers.
Yes, if a police officer has chased you down on the highway, there's probably a good reason.
Yeah, if it's saying get out of the car, it's a bit like okay. I think this is the problem. It's said in such a way where there's no context behind what's being said here. Because when a police officer gets you out of the car, there's a lot of things different than just a random person getting you out of the car. Yeah,
usually it's like, can I see your registration, and you hand it to them. So if you're if you're already past that point, then something's up. And if you don't know that, then you are either the dumbest criminal in the world, or you are completely oblivious to what just happened in the past 5 minutes.
Yeah, but it's also a bit like a police officer doesn't come straight up to you and say, get out of the car. There's a process before get out of the car, and putting handcuffs is got to.
Right.
This is obviously a person who's never been arrested by a policeman or police officer or whatever before.
I'm assuming he's referring to a non-highway event like stop and frisk or
not even that situation, does it? So this is where everyone starts to realise, yes, I've had my fair run-in with the police.
Right.
I was a teenager. You leave me alone. But yeah, there's a huge. They don't just throw you in cuffs straight away.
Yeah, there's a process.
There's a lot of questions, and the thing is, as well, 9 times out of 10, they'll just even if you have to get your identity, if you haven't got anything on you, they'll just ring back to the station, especially in the UK, to find out who you are, and they'll ask you to stay put. And the only time they'll put handcuffs on you if you're being trying to run away or get away. If you just stand there, they'll probably not do anything with you.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Anyway.
There's a good reason to get handcuffed, and it's not some random arbitrary hey, my name's Bob. Great, get out of the car.
Yeah, but they go, I'm police officer. I'm putting handcuffs on you. It's like no, that's not how police work.
All right.
Knocks at your front door with 3 heavy thumps, reserved only for police officers.
Front door. Wait, I thought we were in a car.
Wait, hold on. Yeah, hold on.
Can we go back?
Let's go back.
Seconds?
Yeah.
Before we take it out of context.
Yeah.
Imagine being arrested. A man you do not know and certainly do not trust asks you to step out of the car or knocks at your front door with 3 heavy thumps, reserved only for police officers. Your day.
3 heavy thumps at the door, reserved only for police officers. No, you can knock on the door however you like. Renegade caught. There's not a code. The police don't go. No. If we do 4, we can't arrest him.
1,000.
5 is the secret handshake.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of I don't know if you guys have you ever watched Big Bang Theory, like Sheldon, how he knocks on a door?
Yeah. I'm just imagining the holy hand grenade scene from Monty Python.
Yes.
3
on the count of 3.
Yeah, 3 knocks on the door. 2 is one too few. 4 is 1 too many, and 5 is right off.
1, 2, 4. Wait.
3.
3, Sergeant. Yeah.
All right. Here's Cracker Jack off. All right. Thank you. Cop, you were going 25 miles over the limit in a school zone. I'm going to have to give you a ticket. Officer fondles breasts. Perhaps there's something I can do to get you out of this ticket. Cop, sir, step out of your vehicle. What the hell is going? Is that a transsexual man? What's going on?
I don't know. I just officer fondles breast. Whose breast? Whose breast is being fondled to you? I just imagine some guy leaning out and feeling this guy's breasts going, is there something I can do? It's like, so get out the car.
Well,
shoot the kill.
Within the context of Renegade Cut, it's either you're in the car or you're at home. They're going to cuff you with three knocks on the door. So,
no, that's not what happens. Right? Okay, they knock on your door. You answer the door. They ask you, "Are you person A and B?" They read you your rights, and then if they're going to do anything else, then they put handcuffs on you to put you into a van.
Right.
At which point you are taken to the station. You put through processing. Take the handcuffs off of you so you can sign stuff, and then you sit in a cell. That's how it works.
When they actually accuse you of a crime before they cuff you. They can't just cuff you. So.
Yeah, but they accuse you of something. Then if they're going to take you down to the cell to be interviewed and everything. So, yeah, that's how it's done.
They don't just say, "Hey, let's come down to the station. Let's get cuffed." It's like,
Yeah, because you have a surprisingly large amount of rights. Like you have a large amount of rights in the UK. in a place like America, where I'm assuming you have a lot of rights because it's all all Americans ever talk about. I'm assuming you have even more rights than what the Brits get. If we don't even get a phone call, we don't even get a chance to phone anybody to say we've been arrested or do anything.
Right.
So, yeah, ridiculous. You just sign your name.
An example, what happened in Hungary when the COVID outbreak started is that the government basically outlawed that anyone could spread news about criticizing the government's actions against it. So it was only happened a few times, but they actually got a few people that shared a Facebook post that they are not happy with what the government did, like the lockdowns and such. And what happened is that next midnight, the police came and took the guy away. And of course, they released him a day or two after, but they took his laptops and they made him stay there, and they couldn't do jack shit about it.
Yeah,
it's just it varies a lot. I don't think this would happen in the US.
Yeah, this won't even happen in the UK.
Yeah.
Like I said, I've had my fair run-ins with the police and everything like that. It doesn't happen like this. This honestly is starting to sound like nightmare fuel for a person who's never even got a speeding ticket.
Right. So let's assume he's being very brief and he's
dramatic.
He's summarizing. He's trying to be as quick as possible.
Yeah.
Day of running errands, visiting friends, and cooking dinner is over. Your sense of normalcy pulled violently from you like an aggressive purse snatcher. You are put through humiliating procedures in the company of strangers.
It's not humiliating. Having your fingerprints done isn't humiliating. What the fuck is wrong with you? We don't strip you naked, whip you, and go, now, piggy, we're going to make you do fingerprints. They go, oh, can you just put your... Also, we don't use fucking ink. What year is this? 1912? They have electronic stuff.
In junior kindergarten, we had finger painting. It wasn't that embarrassing.
Oh. Yeah,
I think he watched way too many movies.
They have an electronic, like in the UK, right? They have an electronic one. So you go there, you get your fingerprint done. You're then taken to a little booth, and you speak to a very lovely little lady who tells you to sit in a chair, stare at this little hole, and it flashes and it takes your mugshot. Then that's it.
Well, let's assume that wherever he is, whatever part of the world, has
Uganda.
They still use ink, yeah.
In deepest, darkest Congo or whatever it is, and they're flipping pointing spears in your ass when you're getting your fingerprints done.
Yeah, they use animal blood. They don't use actual ink. Yeah.
Well, to be honest with you, maybe in northern South Korea they're a bit iffy, and the whole procedures and everything.
There you go.
Jesus Christ.
Finally, anyway. After they have allowed you to panic long enough for the discomfort to become actual pain, they sit you down in a cold room with a metal chair. These men have all the power, all the guns, and the key to the door. You're not going anywhere. One man looks away from you, studying some papers but not actually reading them, and says,
"Stop making those stupid YouTube videos. This is the last one for you."
My God, what the fuck is this?
This is like
this doesn't happen.
Yeah, this is like watching some retarded version of a police procedural, and it's the first 2 minutes.
He probably based all his opinions on the Naked Gun movie.
One man asks you for a cigarette, you tell him that it is. He stares towards the camera. What is this? It's like if you ever if you actually watch on on YouTube, people show what interviews are like in America. You don't see this. You don't see this setup. This setup is very rarely you're handcuffed to a desk. It's like no offense, if you're handcuffed to anything at this point in say an interview, you're a fucking raging psychopath.
Yeah, they would.
And you've killed at least 12 people. Yeah. I mean, I remember watching. I think it's called JVS. I think it is psychology. He does psychology videos on police interviews, And there was one guy, and he was tied up because he did a school shooting. And that's the only time I've ever seen. And even then, they said, "Do you want us to undo your cuffs to make it easier?" And obviously, he's trying to pretend to be insane, so he gets off lighter. So he says, "No, I like the type or whatever." But that's about it. But this whole setup here, no, you're not like that.
All right.
This is very weird.
Yeah. Here's the Giga Chad. Hey, how's it going, Giga Chad? I think this video came about after Renegade Cut went to his local donut and coffee shop. Oh no, to get his daily breakfast of the store's entire pastry inventory, and overheard a few off-duty cops talking about how 2016 Ghostbusters sucks.
I love that punchline.
That punchline got me. I don't know why.
Do we remember when he said the video was good? Is that the he covered it before? Do we ever do that?
Yeah, I think it was on the Smudcast.
Yeah.
Like his coverage of Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I think we did cover.
Oh yeah, did we?
It was a really long time ago.
Oh, thank God! Before I came along, thank God for that. I dodged the bullet.
Gotta love this guy, huh? He's fantastic. Okay.
Says, I just want to ask you a few questions, as if you have not been brought in here for a police interrogation, but a quiz show that you watch on network television. Oh, thank God, you think. Only here for a few questions. This is all some mistake, of course. Yeah, that's it. I bet my name matches the name of some criminal. Why, they should go arrest him. He sounds like a bad man.
What?
But before you can imagine this other man, this individual whose place you have accidentally taken, the police begin telling you things about yourself and about the victim of an alleged crime, and some of it simply cannot be true. But you didn't notice, because you're too busy with your silent prayer that if you can just get out of this one tough spot, you will stay on the straight and narrow for the rest of your life.
What the hell is he talking about?
No, this is not what. This is what. Oh my God! They just.
Some random, supposedly terrified individual. I swear I'll never do a bad thing again in my life. By the way, why am I here?
So, like, is he trying to set it up that, like, the individual who made the crime and the guy they caught have the same name, so is gonna get tricked into that shit? Because that is the dumbest shit
I've ever heard.
I'm not gonna say it. My brain
fucking
is
retarded. Fucking retarded. This whole thing is just like
this entire setup has been like you don't know why you're here. You think someone has the same name as you, and also
no, you never think that. Why would you ever think some random person? The police are obviously after someone else. It's like no, what are you on about?
Can you imagine that?
But this is like the story that goes down in Renegade Cut's head. This is how the police operates.
Yeah,
this is how the police operate. They grab random people. Who
your
might
name
have the
is
same name.
John Smith. Well, guess what? You're coming with us.
Oh God! Is he thinking it's like in the Terminator? They just go through the phone book and you just go, this is the person I'm looking for. Yeah.
Number 1. We got 30 more to go.
We're looking for John Connor, so we'll just look at we'll go for this first guy, even though he's like 6 years old. Well, we'll go through all the John Connors in the area. We'll find him eventually. The fuck is wrong with this guy?
All right, let's keep going.
Jesus Christ.
Tell them what they want to hear, you tell yourself. They will let me go home and finish cooking my dinner.
What?
Oh no, the gas is still on.
The gas is still I left the stove on. My casserole is burning.
And he ends up killing his neighbor because the gas was still on. Oh, you are actually the criminal.
What a stupid... They tell you to switch off your cooking.
And because he was praying, he's one of the dumb religious types who doesn't know.
Yeah.
Mr. Smith, unfortunately, I have to tell you that the nuclear plant was right next to your gas oven.
Why? Renegade Cut, why are you so stupid?
I know he's trying to make a narrative, but it's just so bizarre. I'm like, what is happening?
It's just the fact that I'm imagining the fact that Renegade Cut has forgot that someone's knocked on the door, and it's some guy in his car who's making dinner while driving, and it's like, well, no, now we know why this person got arrested.
He's cooking in his car with a hot plate.
Yeah.
Excuse me, Mr. Smith, can you come down to the stage? Okay, we're gonna have to take your entire car with us. It's on fire.
Oh no, that's even bad. I just got a text message off my girlfriend telling me to shut the fuck up. You're laughing too loud.
Make sure to turn the gas off.
Yeah, honey, please turn the gas off.
What? Why downstairs laughing? You turn the gas off in case you get arrested. Don't you burn the
Pray
house
to whatever
down?
God you believe in, you'll be on the straight and narrow. I'll never do fries again at 8 o'clock at night. Never again in my car.
Okay, honey.
I'll never make roast pork doing 90 and a 70.
Here's Great Scott. Thanks for the free. Jesus Christ, given that weird monologuing cop skit, the cops definitely brought him in for possessing a kilogram of bath salt.
Yes.
Yeah, he's flicking that tea bag in the air. He's like, oh, what is this? What do you got here, buddy? Salt?
Oh my god. Oh, you say you're guilty for assaulting someone.
Oh.
Assaulting? Oh.
Okay, that was pretty bad.
That was great. Anyway, we've got to finish this.
Yeah. Okay, here's Paul Blart Mall Cuck. All right. Thanks for the one. This premise is faulty because it assumes an attorney is not present. Even if you for sure didn't do anything, this situation has probably happened to Renegade Cut. The question for cops asked was, did you eat the wall insulation at Denny's? And he started sweating. Okay, well, before any of this happens, they read you your rights. And if anyone who has ever watched any cop show knows, you don't have to say a damn thing.
Yeah. Also, you get told why you're there. They don't just surprise you with stuff.
Yeah, you're not like guessing why I'm here. What's happening? Like, what did I do?
It's not a magic trick where the police officer pulls like evidence out from his sleeve or something.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh.
I don't know.
Have you seen this bloody knife before? No. Is it behind your ear?
What else do you have there, sir? This long rope that someone killed themselves with. How did it get behind your neck?
Yeah. Oh, it's just such a stupid man.
I wish he would just say, the exact point he's trying to make instead of painting this ridiculous painting of.
Yeah, it's like this thing that will never happen. Imagine it.
Yeah.
No.
All right.
Lying to you, and you don't even realize it. And worst of all, they started lying to you long before you sat down in the chair.
How? If they did that, you can sue them.
Yeah.
They can't accuse you of a thing that, they can't just bring you in and start saying shit. You can talk to your lawyer. Your lawyer will shut up a cop really quickly. So a cop knows what he can't say.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, right. Let's put it this way. I was accused of something once, and I went to an interview. The interview was, I think, a grand total of 4 minutes long. Because I was accused of doing something, showed them evidence that I couldn't have done the thing, and the police officer's exact words were, oh, crap, yeah, you can't. Well, you're free to go then. That was literally it. And even my sister was like, oh, right, okay. Because the thing that I'd been accused of was easily solved because I'd supposedly sent something via WhatsApp. And the phone that I had was a Nokia from the 1990s at that point in time. And all I did was get the phone out, and I went, you get WhatsApp on that, and you've got me red-handed with all the stuff you've accused me of. And he was like, oh, crap. Right, well, you're free to go. And that was it. They can't just make things up. It's like, yeah, they just have to let you go. I was in there for 4 minutes. That was it. So, no Renegade Cut. This is not... No, if they don't have the evidence and don't have other stuff, they can't keep you. and they're not lying to you. They get told something, they've got to find out the truth.
All right.
What a stupid idiot.
Yeah, I want to know where cops are actually liars because they can get sued for this. So we have to know where that they're doing their job poorly, that they do this. I really want to see that because that in first 2 minutes was complete fabrication. So don't even remember any of that.
Yeah.
What the hell is going on?
The insinuation that
Putting a bag over someone's head? Where,
That's not how police work.
That's not... What is... Where did he get that clip?
It's from North and South Korea.
Oh, that... Now it makes sense. Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah. This is his interrogation technique.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Okay.
You are a communist brother, are you not?
Here's the Giga Chat again. A Renegade cut assumes people in the U.S. have the type of police that socialist governments that he idolizes have. I think his granddad was a sheriff and called him a faggot for wearing a hammer and sickle shirt to Thanksgiving.
Yeah. This is something that doesn't like. I mean, I know I'm speaking from like someone from the UK's point of view with like how our police work, but most Western countries have a similar police setup. Do you know what I mean? Since it's all like all really based around Robert Peel's creation, So this is weird.
Right.
The police, particularly in the United States, are liars should not be a controversial opinion. Even those who support the police wholeheartedly, applaud their efforts, and defend them from the slightest criticism must be aware that police officers are often dishonest with their suspects. From the perspective of those defending the police, our boys in blue are dishonest only in order to outwit criminals and to protect society, and that a certain amount of slack should be given.
Yeah, citation needed, sir. Who are you referencing exactly? I'm sure there are some good and bad cops out there, we know, but please be specific to make a broad statement like that.
Yeah, this, the thing is, it's like, okay, sometimes the police withhold evidence from a suspect, but that's only when they know, get the suspect to say they know like nearly 100% that the suspect they've got is the actual criminal, and they're a bit like, yeah, we already know that you didn't do this and you didn't do that.
It depends on the detective working the case and who's doing the interrogation and where they are because they don't give out information to random people to ask a question. They just try to cool you. They try to talk to you like a normal person to make you feel comfortable. That's how it's done. They don't have these weird good cop, bad cop routines that you see on like 1960s noir movies.
Yeah. It's very strange. It's very strange what he's, like I say, it feels like someone who's never interacted with the police before.
Especially when you're talking about homicide cases, they're not going to start getting angry at suspects. Like, that's very unprofessional. Yeah. And you're going to get sacked if you do anything to anyone when they're in interrogation.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
also they can say you can say you gave evidence under duress as well, and it's like that can stop the evidence being used in court. There's a lot of legal shit they've got to go through.
Okay.
To them. From the perspective of anyone else, the dishonesty of the police is an exercise of control, a disproportionate amount of power that creates an insurmountable imbalance in the dynamic between the police and civilians, an imbalance that does not serve justice. In practice, there are two varieties of lies and dishonest actions by the police. Those which are questionable but perfectly legal, and those which are illegal but are done all the time anyway. In the case of the former, laws that permit reasonable deception by the police have been codified both locally and by the Supreme Court in landmark cases that have granted more and more leeway to the police over time. In the case of the latter, the police are protected internally by other police officers and by unions such as the Fraternal Order of Police or the...
I would have loved some citations from the first and the second example because I don't know what he's talking about.
Well, they can torture prisoners.
They can put a bag over someone's head.
Apparently. But lying? Like what lies? What lies are supported by the Supreme Court? Like just tell me which. Give me a landmark case,
Yeah.
give me the example you referred to, and let's look at that. Say, okay, that's a lie. You're right.
Yeah.
That is a lie that the Supreme Court said was okay. And you're like, okay, fine. Thank you, Renegade. We know where you're coming from. The second one is going to be a bit more complicated, but I still want examples. You can't just, there's two.
Yeah.
These are true. It's like, okay, prove it.
This police officer lied. Says who? Well, it says me, Renegade Court. Okay, thanks.
All right.
Also, he's talking about the as well a power structure thing as well, because like any good communist, there has to be a power structure. And it's just a bit like, the police have more power than the general public.
But in regards to conversation, I don't think there's a power dynamic of where were you last night? You don't have to say a damn thing. They have no power over you. You can just stand there and glare. That's it.
Yeah.
What are they going to do?
Not much, really.
Yeah. They have no power over you.
Yeah, they can't just arrest you for nothing. This does seem like a left-wing fantasy almost of like how the police act, and but this is not how the police act.
Right. Even if they have a search warrant, like a search warrant for your house, they're allowed to, enter your property and poke around.
Yeah.
You don't have to say anything.
Yeah. I want to speak to my lawyer. This seems like almost like this is what Renegade Cut wants the police to be like.
Well,
he wants them to be like.
He's referencing the Supreme Court. So the way this works is there should be at least one thing from some lower court that the Supreme Court looked at and said, yes, this is a precedent. We're going to keep this going or whatever. So he should reference that very soon, or else I'll be very tired and listening to him prattle on about the questionable legal things. So then he's going to focus on the illegal stuff, which is even more interesting. So I want to know where he's going because this is silly.
Yeah, all I see is he's going to start going on. I'm sure the answer to all his problems is a complete overhaul of Western capitalism and the replacement system based on Soviet Union communism.
Yeah,
call me crazy.
We'll turn all the constabulary to I don't know, the military or something.
The people will decide who defends himself.
Yeah,
like Kyle Rittenhouse. I'm sure Renegade Cut supports Kyle Rittenhouse.
I said this before, but if they want people to defend their societies or their communities, that's the format. You get outside, you stand guard like any guardsman would, with lethal force because it's yours. You're allowed to do that. But no, guns are bad too. It's like, what do you mean? It's America. You're allowed to do that. Anyway. Yeah,
it's almost like they actually just want people to be undefended so they can do whatever they want to.
All right, I got to catch up with 3 super chats, or 3 donations rather. So do apologize. Steak juice drinker. I eat every part of the steak as much as I can, so I guess that would be me. If Renegade Cut said that federal agents are liars, I'd be more inclined to believe them since federal agencies have a habit of partaking in illegal activities for questionable reasons. Your local police force, less likely. Okay, so that's a very big distinction between the local police and the federal police. And especially with country...
Yeah, so that's almost like saying MI5 and MI6 lies.
Yeah, like in Canada, we have the RCMP, which is, I guess, is a federal organization, but they put people like that into the local police force, and then you're working as a policeman, not as some federal agent. You're just a police guy with federal training. That's about it. So that happens all the time. In America, it's a bit more complicated because you get all kinds of, like, you have rangers and you have sheriffs and then you have actual police and you, depending on which
state troopers, and stuff. Yeah,
all kinds of jurisdictions. So
because it's such a huge country, you know,
every state's different. So you have to, you can't just like he's he's painting a broad brush of all these guys just because they have a uniform on, they're going to lie to you. It's like, okay, I don't know.
And I know now somebody's probably going to say about, obviously, me bringing up the UK. They'll be like, oh no, he's actually talking about the American and all that. He's saying cops.
Yeah.
You know, seriously, look at cops in your own area. Yeah, you might think they're a bit incompetent sometimes, but...
All right, here is JS. Thanks for the 3. Seems Renegade Cut took it somewhat personally when the cop in LA Noir went, "You left-wing leaning parasite. You expect me to sit here and listen to your drivel?" See, I suddenly have a desire to play LA Noir.
Yeah. So do I, you know.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't? And they have to cover the Renegade Cut.
Yeah.
Oh boy, one
Let's
more.
make up like a good fan fiction behind it.
Yeah. My one that I bet Renegade Cut enjoyed was when that police officer accused that guy of touching kids.
Okay.
So you like touching little boys? Are you fucking mad?
I remember, yes.
All right, here's Great Scott for the 2. Thank you. His argument is conflating government with police. Yes, they're part of local government, but you'd have to be insane to judge a small town sheriff the same as that cop who wrote you a ticket for going 5 over the speed limit. Yes, exactly. Lots of different jurisdictions. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Ironically named Police Benevolent Association of New York. In rare cases, a police officer will be charged with
Oh, here we go.
Yep.
Here we go. Here we fucking go.
Let the cooming begin.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a police officer murdered the St. George Floyds. We all know. We all get it. Yada, 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 yada. He killed the holy god amongst all leftists. Praise be Floyd. May he ever press guns into pregnant women's bellies. Hallelujah. Or whatever.
Okay.
May the drugs flow through him. Ashes to ashes, drugs to drugs, you know.
Counterfeit money to counterfeit.
Don't forget the bananas.
Oh. What? Bananas?
That was the thing. Like, don't you know? Like that was the fucking thing that he bought at the store with the fake counterfeit bill.
Oh, he bought bananas. Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
He bought bananas before he was dancing.
Mm-hmm. I'm not going to say anything about black men and bananas, but let's move on.
Okay.
the law while on duty, but generally only under these circumstances. When the police department is under tremendous public pressure, and when the officer is caught red-handed, and when the crime will result in protest.
No. I'm just going to say no to all of those, because, that's not, no. Anyway, moving swiftly on.
And riots that will cause the city enormous property damage, and when the crime is so egregious that not charging the officer would be worse for the image of the state than the alternative. However, in cases of mere unlawful dishonesty, those incredible circumstances simply do not exist. Therefore, if police know there are few, if any, consequences for what they consider minor infractions, they will continue these infractions unabated and may even be encouraged to do so. Police dishonesty may seem less consequential than the more sensational ways that police abuse their power, but these legal and illegal deceptions are actually...
What is he talking about now? What exactly is he talking about? Deception.
I'll be honest with you, this whole thing just seems like, I'll be honest with you, trying to get that last little drip of George Floyd mania. And he's just trying, because now that Biden's all supporting the cops with everything, because January the 6th and everything like that, the all cops are bastards movement is sort of drying up. So I think this is just the last little bits of it. So
yeah, I'm wondering what he means by deception, though. Like, is he trying to get cops to say they're doing something wrong, or like what is? I want examples. I don't know what he's talking about.
So the problem is the police force of America don't have commissars and don't throw people into gulags who have do thought crimes. That's the problem. That's why they're all liars, because the police in the Soviet Union, 100% truthful, never lied once. Sayonara.
Yes, I'll praise the motherland. Okay.
Yes.
Quite serious for those on the receiving end, and are often the deciding factor in whether or not a suspect, innocent or guilty, will see their entire life ruined. Both legal and illegal...
What is this? Like some sort of fan film? Like what is going on with this footage? I don't know where he's going.
I don't know. All I know is that first police officer, quotation marks, there's not even a badge on the anything. He's got a terrible white haircut. He's got like a bald patch and just like a little island of hair at the front.
Well, he has some tactical vest. I don't see any badge. You're right. So is this like a just typical patrol?
Yeah.
Like what's going on?
This is
They
not
didn't
what they're
have
dressed like.
enough money for costumes.
Yeah.
Ah, right. Okay.
Even though like regular media like debunked this, that you
Yeah,
can
it's
just
very
ask your
easy to-
local police station that like do they have some retired uniforms.
Oh,
Dishonest
Jesus
policing
Christ.
will be discussed here.
30.
You are driving along, stop at a traffic light, and pass something to your friend. A police officer sees this and believes it is a suspicious movement, what the law commonly calls a furtive movement. Before an interaction between a suspect and a police officer has even begun, the officer can conclude that this interaction is justified through the flimsiest of excuses.
No.
A common excuse to question, pull over, frisk, or otherwise harass a suspect is this mysterious furtive movement. An action, motion, or behavior that the police officer has determined is suspicious. These allegedly suspicious movements encapsulate nearly any behavior, including but not limited to looking over their shoulder. The claim of a furtive movement can initiate the interaction, or be used as justification for escalating an existing interaction. As an example of the former, a police officer can claim that a man on the sidewalk who merely looks from side to side might be waiting for criminal co-conspirators. As an example of the latter, a police officer can claim that a man who has already been pulled over but reaches for something in his car might be reaching for a weapon, instead of their license, insurance, and registration, as they were asked. In this case, the escalation is often a protective search of the vehicle, a search presumably for the officer's own safety. Now, sometimes there is reasonable suspicion, but sometimes police are using the vague, subjective nature of the furtive movement to conduct random searches, to escalate an interaction with a suspect if it is not producing anything, to retaliate against a suspect who is not being properly respectful to the
Real-life
officer,
examples?
and most infamously, to perform a racially motivated...
Oh, Jesus. A racially motivated stop and search.
You got it.
I'm done. I'm completely done with this video. Just completely done.
What is he? I still need an example. He's like, okay, this is a legal technique that you're allowed to do as a police officer when you are canvassing or trying to get information. Okay?
Yeah.
If a police officer pulls a gun on you, there's a damn good reason. He's not trying to like exercise power over authority because you're black or something weird like that. They have better things to do.
This is unbelievable. I know exactly what route he's going down with this.
It's when a police officer is suspecting you of something, right? And there's no discernible evidence, and they're trying to get evidence, they're trying to find it. And the excuse is, well, he could have been reaching for a gun. Oh, he was about to be speeding, or he was right near the speed limit, or whatever. Like pick any reason a police officer would want to pull you over or stop you and frisk you and this and that. I don't know any of these stories. I hope he points one out, because this is pretty natural for a police officer to say, hey, how's it going? What's happening? I'm a police officer, blah, blah, blah. Can I ask you some questions about this area? Or, basic stuff. That's what they do. They get information. Yeah. It's harmless.
Yeah.
This is their job. They have to talk to people.
Yeah.
Anyway. Here is JS. Thanks for the one. Where is that Dave Chappelle video on how not to get effed up by the police?
Yeah, it's so simple how not to get effed up by the police. It really, really is so simple. And I just don't understand. I just don't understand. It's like, how many times have I explained? The police in America are not wiping out black people. No offense, if they really were, you wouldn't be around to fucking complain.
Yeah, this is obviously some dramatization of whatever, but it's
this looks like a do and do not police training video.
Yeah,
that he's showing.
This is not how you hold your gun. This is not how you point it. Yeah. This is not how you get someone out of the car.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Honestly.
Anyway. Here is GigaChad again for the one. Thank you, sir. Here's one of the many problems with Renegade Cuck's retarded premise. In many cases, the reason an officer shoots is if a suspect reaches for his license and registration before being asked and doesn't comply when the officer says, hands on the dashboard.
Yep. Honestly, the police officer arrests you, just do everything they say.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
They don't have time.
Unless you want... Yeah. If you do things to antagonize another person, they're going to get antagonized. Right, here's the thing. The police are not just mindless robots. They are people as well who get pissed off with other people. Now imagine you're like the fifth person who's been an asshole to them today. Do you think they're going to be decent with you when you act like an asshole? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
just you know you're right. You know they can't do much with you. Just do what they say. And by the time you've finished, oh no, it's going to take 30 minutes or something. Fine. Just let it take 30 minutes. Don't worry about it.
All right.
Stop and frisk. There is a tremendous amount of data suggesting that police disproportionately stop and frisk people of color, and the excuse of furtive movements is often used in place of
the excuse of that they commit like 85% of the crimes usually.
Yeah, they don't just randomly pick people. If they're looking for a suspect, they have a profile. They follow the profile.
It's like, no offense, in the UK, we had stop and search. And, they were targeting black people. No, it's just the fact that most black people in London had knives on them. And the minute that they stopped doing stop and search, knife crime increased by 85% in the black community. Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, the only reason they stop and search or frisk black people more is they commit more of the crimes. Why would they... This has been debunked over and over again. I can't believe we're still going on about racial profiling.
Yes, it's not. The areas where these things happen are high in crime. Unfortunately, they also seem to be the place where most black people tend to live. So what you're saying is like what people said. Oh, they stopped doing stop and search in London.
Yeah, this is
knife crimes increased. The most people in London have been murdered by knives last year, like than ever before. After they stopped doing it, and it's like maybe, just maybe, we should bring back the stop and search. All right, it's going to be uncomfortable for a few people, but if it stops 40 odd people being stabbed to death a year, oh no, racism. I guess fighting pretend racism means more than 40 people plus lives.
Well, he's trying to get to the racial profiling argument or whatever, but I don't know how he did it through cops or liars. I don't get how he connected cops or liars through, was it furtive movements?
Yeah.
And then he said, oh, because of furtive movement and black people are going to be profiled more, therefore cops are bad because they go after black people more. It's like, no.
Oh, I love that. Contraband more likely to be found in searches of white drivers. Okay. Source: suspect citizens. What 20 million traffic stops tell us about policing and race? Really? That's your source? How about we get the FBI sources up, and how about we get actual proper sources of legal places? Oh no, we're going to get suspect citizens.
Yeah, let's get a blogger from it, or a journalist.
Yeah. Contraband more likely to be found in searches of white drivers. Yeah, all right then. What's the numbers? Show us numbers. You can't just say that and then you say, "Oh, read this book" or whatever it is.
It's just like 51% of or more of contraband is found in houses or cars of white drivers, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Is it though?
I don't. Maybe certain states. I have no clue.
Yeah.
Not in Canada. We don't have too many guns in Canada.
If he said it was from like the FBI statistics for a source, I'd be like, oh, that's interesting. But from what is quite clearly probably just a book or a blog written by some middle-aged white woman.
They don't like those FBI stats that go back like 10, 15 years, and they clearly show who does what kind of crime and to who and why it's black. Like, they don't say why. They just say, more blacks commit more crimes. There's more white on white crime. There's more black on black crime. Like, it's, you can profile the races all you want. That's just reality. It's not a bias.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's almost like maybe. Never mind. I'm just saying maybe that people should just like, if it was so much about races and everything, maybe people should like slap their own races into line with stuff and tell the other people to stop bringing down.
Maybe,
Do you know what I mean?
If their communities would actually like teach themselves how to behave and not commit crimes,
Yeah.
But that would require an analysis of the family units in America and certain countries, or certain states, and then certain
and Americans just don't like doing work. So
you can't analyze the family unit and how people join gangs and why and blah blah blah. They just don't want to get involved.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
Racial bias. In the case of Floyd v. City of New York, police officers described furtive movements as changing direction. Looking back at...
Are you bringing up the George Floyd case here?
I think you just quoted it, yeah.
Really?
But isn't like it's about the NYPD right here?
Well, first off, we do know George Floyd was on some sort of drugs. I don't know if it was fentanyl. He was had counterfeit bills. That was the tip that they got, and he did actually use counterfeit bills to buy bananas, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
So, guess what? The furtive movement worked. The only problem was, after the fact, the cop was a bit more aggressive in holding him down. So,
yeah.
If he's arguing the furtive movement, he's wrong because it worked.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, well, criminal got arrested for furtive movement. Yeah, but it was George Floyd. Oh, yeah. Of course, I forgot.
Here's Great Scott. Thanks for the two. Honestly, I can agree with the premise of the argument if this was still the 19th or earliest 20th century. Problem is, it's not, and black communities barely developed, and you have to consider other factors as to why rust-belt businesses closing, etc. There are a host of reasons why people are committing crimes in a certain way in certain communities, which I highly doubt Renegade Cut's going to reference, because his narrative is cops are liars. Because they're liars, they bend the laws like furtive movements, and because they always seek out black people, therefore they're bad to black people, and they're racist, and they're biased, and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Even though we know if we want to describe the furtive movement of George Floyd worked.
Mm.
It was after the fact they caught him that things went sour. So, anyway.
And forth, and getting a little nervous. In response, Judge Shira Schneidlin remarked, "If officers believe that the behavior described above constitutes furtive movements that justifies a stop, then it is no surprise that stops so rarely produce evidence of criminal activity. There is little uniformity in what does and does not consist of a furtive movement, and police officers can take advantage of this. Sometimes a judge concludes that no probable cause existed for a search, and evidence found in the search is suppressed. However, police officers almost never actually get themselves in trouble for their claims of furtive movements, incentivizing them to continue."
Okay.
No, hold on. What de-incentivize them is their evidence being thrown out.
Right. If we're talking about the actual playbook of what to do, like I suspect someone, and they have all these signs, they have all this training on how to look at people and see what they're doing. If they're nervous, something's going on. Are they on drugs? Are they drunk? Blah, blah, blah. There's all these criteria to go through that they're trained on to look for. So is he saying they should be trained? They shouldn't be able to look at people and
what he's saying is the police should stop arresting black people because black people never commit crimes. Black people are holy, nice little creatures that are God's gift to mankind and would never cause any crime committed by a black person is legal and should be allowed to be done. Because I'm Renegade Cut and I'm a good white person. Please don't burn my house down.
It's just like, can't wait. Like, I don't want to say, but like when it's actually gonna happen to him. But he probably doesn't live in a neighborhood like that, so.
Oh, he's probably never seen a black person in his entire life. He probably crosses the road when he sees like a brown person. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Ooh, I bet he's person go. Ooh, you earn under $50,000 a year. Ooh, cross over the road. Ooh, I don't want to talk to you. Oh no.
Gets home and then talks about like, oh, white people are oppressing black people by crossing the road.
Yeah. Oh, I wish my gated community in California is just so white. Oh.
All right.
Oh.
After the officer has pulled you over for his flimsy excuse...
Wait a second. How is body cameras related to cops or liars again?
Oh, they switch them off, or they don't use the evidence, or something. Okay. Something he's pulled out of his arse, something.
So they turn them off so they can lie. Okay, there we go.
Okay.
An argument ensues. After all, you didn't do anything wrong. And even if you had, it was probably small enough to not be worth arresting.
No. Just because in your head you think it might be small enough not to get arrested. Listen, I only stabbed at hooker 4 times. It's such a small crime, officer. It's not even worth arresting me. I mean, you should have arrested me for running over those 2 orphans just 5 minutes ago, but, you know.
Yeah, you haven't stabbed the hooker 5 times. That's what's massive.
Yeah. No, you have to stab them 3 times, because 4 times is too many. Twice is not enough, and 5's right off. It's like the 3 knocks on the door. How can you say, if there's an argument because you've not done anything wrong, okay, why are you arguing with a police officer if you've not done anything wrong? If you've done nothing wrong, you've got nothing to argue over.
By the way, just in case, I think police officers in the US are required to turn on their body cameras the moment they dial a number back to HQ.
Yeah, also police officers in the UK always have their body cameras on.
Yeah.
And in fact, they tell you as well that the body cameras record and stuff. So, yeah. But also, so you get into an argument. If you've done something wrong, the police have every right to arrest you. Or at least question you about something. And it's up to their discretion whether they let you off or not. Like...
Yeah, depending if it's a traffic cop, if you ran a red, you know.
No offense, but you, a member of the public, don't get to decide what the laws are or how often they get broken.
Right.
You don't get that right. That's not. Sorry, Renegade Cut, but you might think something's a small deal. Like, no offense. Oh, you might think stealing like $5 for someone's a small deal, but it could mean a lot to the person you've stolen the $5 off. What gives you the right to decide what's a big or small offense? You're still breaking the law.
Yeah, if we're talking about traffic violations, we do have a court just for that, for specific infractions, and what they mean and whether it's worth it to go through it. There's all kinds of things that happen, and plus you get docked on your what's the word? What's the insurance value? You have like 5 points if you go beyond that. You lose your insurance. So in the UK, you have points on your license and stuff. So right,
if you have like 12 points on your license, you lose your license. So you've got to be careful with stuff.
Right. So there's all these checks and balances for basic stuff, which I'm assuming is happening in this scenario because why are people getting pulled over in the car? if not for traffic violations. Like, it wouldn't be a black man's in a car, take him out and point a gun. It's like, what is going on?
Yeah.
So
this is car 247. We've seen a black man. Permission to open fire. They're not radioing that in.
Yeah, he is going from traffic, like at least on the screen, the video is of a traffic violation to pulling this guy over to like frisk him and like plant drugs on him or something.
It's like, control. This is Officer Tenpenny. I'm going to murder a black man. Need a 427 on my position to clean up the mess. It's like, what? That's Renegade Corp. This is not what happens. They don't do that.
All right. Here is Giga Chat again. Thank you, sir. Being a part of the most oppressed minority in America myself, drunk drivers, I'll tell you that police are oppressive and are trying to keep honest, hardworking booze cruisers down, like the Jacobites and the founding farters before me.
Yep.
I will sojourn on.
Oh, man.
Well, you sir, drive without a seatbelt. You go for that. You go crazy.
It's just baffling. This is absolutely baffling what he's going on about. He's so desperate to make a narrative, but because he's retarded, and yes, I am saying Renegade Cut's retarded, because he's that retarded, he doesn't quite understand anything.
Well, let's see his argument where they turn off the body cams. That's the only thing I could see him working with here. So,
someone. You are concerned, and you forgot to record your interaction with your phone, as you always should.
What?
Then you are briefly comforted by the fact that the officer himself is recording this interaction, and if something goes wrong, there will be evidence, right? In recent years, police departments have been equipping their officers with body-worn cameras. While on duty, police record their interactions with suspects, with the stated goal being public transparency. If an officer does something underhanded or illegal, he can be caught red-handed. If a suspect is dishonest about his interaction with the officer, he too can be exposed. A level playing field without any unequal dynamics. This is how body cameras are supposed to work, how they are supposed to ensure public trust, and how they are supposed to minimize police misconduct. Unfortunately, according to the most extensive research on the subject by George Mason University, police body cameras have not produced dramatic changes in police behavior.
So what? That has nothing to do with the body
So
camera.
it just speaks that like they have been mostly doing well.
Yeah, they're doing their job.
They haven't been.
So,
you mean they're well trained and they act out their training? Wow! And the camera proves that. That's great.
yeah, this is unbelievable. It's oh no, wow,
Body cameras weren't serving my narrative. Fuck them.
Yeah, it's almost like the police were just average anyway. They continue to be average, and they weren't actually these vicious, horrible murderers.
It's like recording reality doesn't change reality. It's like, yes. This is okay. There is an argument, a psychological argument of the observer changes the observed. So if you know you're being watched, you're going to behave differently. But cops are already trained to behave properly anyway. And even with the scene with what's her name, the girl who pulled out, or the lady who pulled out a taser as opposed to a gun, that was all on camera. You know, she made a mistake. She screwed up. And even she even said, I have a taser. It's a real gun. You know, it's like, oh, shit, she's not even paying attention to what she's doing. So she made a mistake. The camera doesn't change that. And the camera proved that she was in the wrong. So that's reality. Cameras are just going to capture reality in the heat of the moment. It's not going to be like, oh, I have a camera on me. I better not pull out my gun, or I better not say this. It's like, no, you've been trained. You've been doing this for 10 years. You know exactly what you have to do. So I'm glad we have it because it's good for evidence in a trial that's violent or what have you. Everything's shown out to the public. It's good. We have also car cameras as well, or dashboard cams. So again, if he said they turn them off, you're going to get reprimanded. that police officer might lose their job. So this is a strange thing. Oh, by the way, they don't change anything. It's like, oh, so good. That's good.
Yeah, it's great. What's the problem?
Yeah,
nothing changes. Okay.
Also, research only including 2 sentences, like from a university in Virginia.
Yeah.
Wow.
Although early findings indicated body-worn cameras reduce the use of force by officers, more recent findings have been mixed. Why is this? Why did police body cameras initially have some positive results for public safety?
Oh my God, are you retarded? Can you imagine, like, okay, last year when we first started using, there was a drop, but this year there's a huge, like, maybe that has absolutely nothing to do with the body camera. What a bizarre, a body camera just records what a certain cop is doing and how they behave. And sometimes they have to be more violent this year than they were last year. Why do you think that is? Do you think they just pull up guns because they feel like it?
Is he going to imply that they doctored the tapes? Or tapes,
what's like next? Yeah, turn off the camera, doctor the video, edit the video with different voices or something.
Use deepfake to...
Yeah, deepfake.
Jesus Christ.
This is really basic shit, Renegade Cut. If crime is higher this year than it was last year, maybe it has nothing to do with the technology to interview suspects. Like, what are you talking about? This is after the fact.
Yeah, this is just getting to...
Cop shot after the fact, or they're trying to catch someone and they pull someone over and something escalates because the whatever suspect or the person pulled over gets angry or whatever. Why is that suddenly the camera's like, what does that have to do with the camera?
Why? What's the... Wow, I just... Whatever.
This is all kinds of bonkers, but keep going.
This is just a man who's just trying to say police are liars because they kill black people. It's like, right, okay.
Yeah.
But no longer do. Well, it's because police learned the ins and outs of the cameras, how to utilize them for their own benefit, and how to manipulate them to protect themselves.
Are you joking?
The civilians. When the police want to do something without the camera seeing, they have options. They can turn it off, they can turn off the audio only, and if there are technical limitations or safeguards that would make that difficult or impossible, they can simply cover the camera with their hand. According to research by the Public Defenders Association of Philadelphia, the officers fail to activate their cameras to capture the beginning of the pedestrian stop. In only 6 of the 60 investigations did body-worn camera video capture the incident before the officers placed people in handcuffs. Even if there is more than one officer on the scene, police will protect one another with regards to their body camera footage. Here is an example from the same research. Officer Lombardi stomped on this male in the alley after the cornered male was lying on the ground. Officer Lombardi never turned his camera on. One of his fellow bike officers saw Officer Lombardi stomping on the male when he came around from the other side of the alley where a locked gate cornered the male. His video captured Officer Lombardi stomping the male, but the officer whose camera was recording backed away, went back around the corner, and turned off his camera. In many instances, police are even allowed to do this. Earlier this year, only a few minutes after police shot and killed 13-year-old Adam Toledo, they turned off their body cameras. When questioned about this, police spokesman Don Terry said, "They didn't do anything wrong. An incident happens. After the incident is under control, turn off your body cameras." Police response seems to be,
so what's wrong with that?
The rest of the footage is obviously recorded like what was happening. Why couldn't they turn it off by that time? Yeah, conclusion has been made.
Yeah, everything's that we need is important. Suspect has been found, blah, blah, blah. Why do we need to record nothing? Like, what's the point?
Yeah. Maybe
there's like a limitation, like a battery life or, I don't know, data. Like you don't have enough storage and they have to like constantly turn it off and on. I don't know how these things work, but it's one extra piece of equipment that you have to be aware of. So again, we need specific examples of these cases, why they're turning them off, because there has to be some negative impact of turning them off. Like, why did you keep it on when you were doing this? If that's all it is, then they should just design them so they can't be turned off. They have this giant battery they're carrying around with a huge 24-hour, I don't know, disk drive or something, SSD.
Yeah,
something like that.
Let's just. I don't care. I'm just listening to a man.
I've given up.
Yeah, I'm just listening to a man who's so desperate for a narrative that he's just like,
the best argument he can make is they need better body cameras that don't turn off and have better battery life and have better memory. It's like, okay, I agree with you. Yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah.
But that means you need bigger budget for your police. You don't need less. Anyway, here's Great Scott. Thanks for the one. The body camera is clearly the biggest kryptonite that makes his entire argument moot. Therefore, he needs to attack it. Yeah. There's no valid reason a camera wouldn't be on at the scene of crime either, so he's grasping at straws. Well, the examples he gave us that some people turn them off, which in certain cases are good, in certain cases are bad. It's good if the instance is over. You don't need to use it anymore. The tool is useless. Fine. While you're doing it?
Yeah, like there's so few of these instances. Like, it's not the norm.
Yeah, I know.
But the reason why
clearly he does.
The reason why he's like he knows about these is because they're so unusual that's why people have noticed it. It's like, yeah.
I'm just reading some numbers on like a 2017 study in Washington D.C. examined more than 2,000 officers. Also found body cameras had a negligible effect on officer behavior. These results suggest that we should recalibrate our expectations of body cameras' ability to induce large-scale behavioral changes in policing, the paper stated. So the police have been doing their job properly, and the body cameras just capture that. That's it. Okay, here's some more stuff. However, of the DOJ's body camera program, he said that he found that 11 of 19 studies on the subject have shown a reduction in use of force among officers wearing cameras. I think that's still pretty strong. So there has been an influence of body cameras that a police officer, for whatever reason, we don't know. Again, this is not causation. This is not even correlation. This is just reporting data that 11 of 19 studies, not the actual events, but the studies have shown a reduce of force. And we don't know exactly what those studies are. I think this is the Milwaukee Police Department. So this is another study. Like there's so many studies, one in Washington, one in Milwaukee. Depending on the jurisdiction, depending on the region, depending on the crimes, these are going to vary. So in order to get accurate understanding, you have to categorize each of the data to their respective areas. Then you could properly say, okay, out of these 22 rape scenarios or these 22 homicide scenarios or whatever crime it was, then you can start tabulating data properly. You can't just lump them all together and say, oh, well, police weren't as aggressive in this scenario. Yeah, because it was a traffic ticket or whatever. So there's all kinds of scenarios that we have to look at, and just lumping them together with, police versus like one cop versus one suspect or two cops versus one perp or whatever the case may be. This is too broad a statement to make, I think, without understanding the data. So he's reaching, and he has one study he's talking about.
Oh.
And
of course he's fucking reaching. He's always fucking reaching. Embarrassing, that. It really is.
Right. And every jurisdiction is going to be different. Every precinct is going to be different. The use of the technology, who's well funded, who's not well funded, who maybe there's a shortage of body cams. I don't know. Equipment is always a price tag for the city to pay for. And as we know, a lot more police forces are becoming more militarized. They have more SWAT teams and this and that, depending on the size and scope of the law for a city. As it grows, it needs more police force, and they have to deal with the higher risks scenarios. So maybe body cameras aren't that important. I don't know. Everything is budgeted specific to a city. So anyway, let's see what he has to say about this.
Well, now that the police have shot someone, what more is there to record? What Mr. Terry and other police officers are not telling us is that this is when the police gather to get their story straight. This is when the police discuss how to cover their tracks and clear themselves of any wrongdoing. Worse still, gaining access to the body camera footage is challenging due to laws put in place for the footage to be released to the public. Laws vary from state to state.
What does that matter? It has to be released in the courtroom.
Yeah.
Why does it...
the supposedly innocent person is facing.
Yeah, I mean, it does take months to release evidence in general. Why is it any different for body camera footage? Why is it the public's interest? Like, what? This is all, private individual people committing crimes. Do you want to see the murder weapon of things? Like, no, of course not. It's not. No one's business to see that. With every piece of evidence, it's all private. Like, what?
Yeah.
State, but where I live, Pennsylvania, the law that limits access to body camera footage is called Act 22. Paula Knudsen-Burke, an attorney for the Reporters Committee for Freedom of the Press, said of this, "It doesn't work. You're at the mercy of the police department. The police drag their heels."
Thank you, random reporter. That's great.
Yeah, cheers, thank you, fucking moron.
When an officer is involved in a shooting, hoping that even if the footage is eventually released, the public will have lost interest. Police do not use body cameras to make themselves accountable. They use body cameras to increase surveillance of civilian populations. And
no.
What? How does that work?
No.
So, guys, if I'm wearing a body camera and I'm a cop, I want to use it to increase surveillance? What am I going to do? Go home that night and just watch the past 8 hours of me doing my job? Oh, this happened.
Oh,
this
yeah,
happened.
just jacking off to a person just walking down the street. Yeah, that's it. You just walk in an awkward way. Yeah, I'm a police officer. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
I agree there should be more stricter rules on these things, who has them, how they're maintained, data dumps at the end of the day. That's fine. That's cool.
Yeah,
that's basic stuff with data storage and backups. Like, you want to make sure everything's recorded. You have patrol, and this is what happened, and nothing was, like, as Mark said, they doctor it up. Like, is that ever going to happen? I highly doubt that. They just dump the stuff and, recharge their battery, and off they go again the next day. So what exact protocol does he want that he thinks that police officers are going to improve or do their job better? And even if that's the case, why is that a bad thing to have? Like, imagine they have a 360 camera. Imagine every cop had a helmet. I know it sounds kind of dorky, but they have a helmet, they have a 360 camera on top, and they're just recording everything. Like, do you want that? You could ask your counselor, say, hey, we should get this equipment for our cops. And they can record everything. It's fisheye lens or whatever. Great. Is that enough? Is that going to appease the courts? Like, what is the public like? Do they want to see this footage? Like, what's
no? It's about pleasing the public opinion and Renegade Scott's vision of a good nation or whatever.
Yeah, and even if that's the case, okay, let's say you have this crazy surveillance state of police officers with these 360 helmet cams, right? It's like is that bad? Do you want more? Do you want, like, cameras on every street corner? Like, what's the solution here?
Yeah, I don't know. And
like, do you want police surveillance or not? Like, it's a simple question. If you want it, then they're fine. But to argue they're doing it to improve surveillance, I'm like, that's their job. What do you want?
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know what he wants, because the police don't have body cams for surveillance on the public. There's a thing called CCTV.
Yeah, with Kim Potter.
Oh no! Don't tell Renegade Cut about CCTV. He's gotta be like, why are the police officers doing this?
Yeah.
We never signed up on this.
Yeah, so we know even if we didn't have a body camera with what's her name, Kim Potter, that she still would have been found guilty anyway because she killed a guy. Like it's
Yeah, like I was saying, there's CCTV all over the place. It's like you can't really. It's like in the UK, you're filmed all the time when you go out. The minute you go out in public, you're on film.
Yeah, I know.
There's no way about it. So, oh no, these people have body cam. It's like, yeah, everyone's seeing what you're doing.
All right. Well, we're halfway done. Let's see where he goes with body cameras.
Misuse them to protect themselves from being recorded. This is not mere
How?
speculation. The statistics back this up. From the same study from George Mason University.
No. So the statistics from this random university that you keep going back to because it suits your narrative.
How?
But like that was made in Virginia, while he was talking about Pennsylvania before that.
Yeah, but
and he specifically said that like it varies by state. What are those like studies based on?
Yeah, how does this body camera prevent the cop from being filmed? It's attached to his chest or her chest, and it captures
their chest.
It captures their voice. Like, what? You're the person holding the camera. Like, what do you want him to do? You're dressed as a police officer. Like, what's going to happen? It's like, I'm going to hide behind this pole while I'm holding the no one will know it's me.
Yeah. Oh my God. He has no idea how the world works, does he?
Well, this is a piece of equipment. It's attached to your body. This is pretty straightforward.
Yeah, but he's just... It's just one of those where it's a bit like, you do know how the world works, don't you? Renegade Cut is like, no. It's like, right, okay. That makes sense.
All right.
93% of responding prosecutors' offices in jurisdictions that use police body cameras use them primarily to prosecute citizens.
So
that explains why 80% of responding prosecutors support police body cameras, and 63% believe these cameras...
They are capturing suspects or perps.
Yes.
What do you think is happening in that scene? Why would a police officer go investigate something if something was not up?
Renegade Cut's almost like, how dare that police body cam capture the suspect murdering a woman?
Yeah.
It's just the police. It's just the police overstepping their boundaries.
Yeah.
It's like, Renegade Cut, what are you moaning about?
This is so stupid. It's like he's doing he or her, whatever the police officer gender is doing their job recording the thing they're capturing. It's like, yes, and so?
No offense. If you've gone to court and you're being sentenced, you bring up evidence and everything like that for, say, you doing a drug deal, and they've got evidence on the body cam that you've done a drug deal, and they show it, and then you get prosecuted, yes, that's them using the evidence. But they're not going to say, well, here's the evidence. They won't bring forward evidence that is going to be detrimental to their case. It's up to you, on your side, to bring up the evidence.
Yeah, I mean...
Do people not know how courts work? Listen, I know, like, Kyle Rittenhouse, the prosecution there were really good defendants. Like, they were really rubbish. But in most normal trials, the defense have to provide evidence themselves. The prosecution don't do it for them.
I'm trying to think of like that. Was it the skit from Chris Rock or Dave Chappelle about sprinkling cocaine or whatever, so that the cop knows like the camera the angle is at, so they could sneak some evidence. Like this is like the dumb level of logic I'm trying to follow to see what he's trying to talk about.
Yeah, I just
8% of respondents in jurisdictions that use police body cameras have used body camera footage to prosecute a police officer. That's good. What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
That just means 8% of all the data happened to be against the police officer. Good for them. Good.
Yeah.
Bravo.
Yeah.
They caught a bad cop.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah. This almost makes it sound like the vast majority of cops aren't crooked.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's a good thing, but we've only got 8%. Well, 8% because there's not the people.
Fancy that. There's some bad apples in any organization, and we have physical evidence showing them being bad, and they have been prosecuted as a result. Why not we keep doing that, Renegade Cut? That sounds good to me.
Yeah, I don't understand what's wrong with this.
Yeah.
Oh no, only 8%. It should be higher. Why? Because all police officers are bad. It's like,
can you imagine, like, prosecutors like, oh, we don't want any evidence. We don't like cameras. It's like, are you kidding me? Everyone loves cameras.
Oh yeah. Prosecutors are not going to say, no, we're not going to use them. We're not evidence to prove a person's done wrong. No.
Remember the Kyle Rittenhouse?
We don't do that here.
The Kyle Rittenhouse case, like that was all on camera, like from multiple people. It was case closed. It was so obvious what was going on.
Yeah.
He didn't even have to defend himself, but he decided to. Like, all this stuff. It's like, if we didn't have cameras, everyone, because everyone saw the evidence before it was released to public, because everyone saw the news reports and people getting shot and this and that. So, I'm glad people in these days have smartphones and they can record things, and everyone is their own sort of form of surveillance, which really helped out his case and got us to the truth a lot faster, and everyone knew it. Yeah,
but you can't just say, oh, well, no, we don't want evidence. It's like...
this is the same argument, because imagine, because in the Kyle Rittenhouse scenario, there were no cops. They didn't get involved. It was all individual people. So you can make exactly the same argument saying, well, what's with all these people with their smartphones? Clearly they're not helping anyone. It's like, wait. So people should not have smartphones because there could be some good, or there could be some bad people out there that do bad things. It's like, okay.
No, I think, let's be honest with you, the reason why Renegade cuts on about these body cameras is because he knows deep down body cameras can record his fellow communists doing bad shit, and he doesn't like it.
I was thinking of the same too.
Yeah, this is why all the left wingers don't like the police, because the police are literally the one thing stopping them doing whatever the fucking depraved shit they want to do. It's like, no offense, all the people who want the police abolished don't do it because they think the police are bad, because they know that they can't rape a kid without punishment. So they're like, well, if I get rid of the police, I can do whatever the fuck I want. And then Kyle Rittenhouse shot a bunch of them, and then all the leftists are upset because the reason why they're upset at Kyle Rittenhouse is because they're like, oh shit, people will actually fight back if there's no police. So that's the whole thing. Renegade Cut here just sounds like a fucking pedo wanting the police to not have body cams, so when he does finally get caught fondling a 6-year-old in a playground somewhere, he doesn't get done for it. Yes, I did call Renegade Cut a paedophile. Sue me.
All right. Anyway.
Okay, he's a
don't see
moron.
any problem with that.
Anyway, I think we're all agreeing with that. Body cameras are good.
Body cameras are fine.
Yeah.
But I don't know why. Who has the problem with body cameras? You had a problem without body cameras. Now there's a problem with body cameras. Make up your mind what you want. Oh, they're not doing what you want them to do. Oh, what a shocker. What a shocker. The raging communist is upset that the system isn't doing what he wants it to do. Oh, blah-de-blah-de-blah. Fucking hell. This guy's a fucking idiot.
Okay. Here's Great Scott one more time. Renegade Cut lives in the opposite lands of Roman law, where he thinks courtroom proceedings' main premise is guilty until proven innocent. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he does.
Well, I would not blame the technology or the tool for how it's used.
I would blame the tool.
Oh,
you meant tool. Oh, sorry, I thought you meant Renegade Cut's a tool. But sorry.
Ha. Okay, let's go.
Assist prosecutors more than the suspects. Only about 8% of respondents in jurisdictions that use police body cameras have ever, even once, used the footage to prosecute a police officer.
have ever even once 8%. These words don't make sense to me. When you talk,
no.
Okay.
8% of jurisdictions have used it once. Have they?
So
have they? Oh,
so
this university in Virginia says so.
Yeah. So your
they?
Yeah. So your numerator is 8, and that's once. I'm like, wait a sec, that's not mathematically accurate. What's going on here?
It's only used 8 times, which is 8%. So only in the history of all these states, only 100 police officers have ever been arrested.
Yeah, was the number 1 out of 80? Like, what are you talking about? 88% is not even once. Like, what are you talking? Words and math. What do they mean together? I don't know. Anyway,
math is a white supremacist tool that will be destroyed in the Grand Communist Revolution led by Renegade Court.
Yeah. Okay.
Fucking hell.
Actually, 1 out of 80 would be 10, but anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter.
it's 8. It's like 8 out of 100. So that's 8%.
Sure. Only 1. Sure. Okay.
Cameras were supposed to keep the police honest, but they have not had that effect. If a police officer is planning to do
No. It's not to keep them. If no police officers are being arrested, then they're being honest.
You don't need a camera to be honest. You just record what's there. That's all it's It's all it's for.
Yeah. The camera doesn't go, "Are you being honest, Jeffrey?"
Do you want like
honest?
Yeah. Do you want like a smartphone app that as soon as you pull out your gun, do you really need that, officer?
Alexa, play "Honesty" by Destiny's Child before I shoot this person. That's like, what do you?
How did he connect honesty with police cameras? What is he talking about now?
Is he starting to think the camera never lies? Then he's like, "Oh, that must mean all the police are honest."
How did we go from furtive movements with cameras and whatever and all these stats to, well, clearly they haven't been keeping cops honest? Like,
no, we haven't been keeping cops. They have been keeping cops honest. It's just the fact that you're upset that more cops aren't being arrested.
Yeah.
That's not the camera's fault that cops aren't. How are you? Is he complaining about the fact that the police wear cameras to keep them honest, and now the police are being honest, so he's getting upset about it? It's like, how dare they?
They're arresting so many black people. This can't be true. It's like, wait, no, that's really true. That's what's happening.
No, this is what's happening. Yeah, but they must be dishonest about it. Let's have a look at the evidence. Oh wait, those black people really were criminals. Oh, well, blow me. Well, they must be dishonest. They must be dishonest. It must be the camera's fault. What? What are you on about?
They're using it to their advantage. Like, clearly, they have some secret technique to evade their own camera on their chest.
Yeah. Oh my God. I'm just laughing. It's
amazing.
Why? Honestly, the levels of like delusions that he's going to just to try and make out that police racist or something.
Yeah.
And it's like, even though the cameras say differently, and even though the evidence supports different things, and even though all this, and this, I still believe it's true. It's like, why do you believe it's true? Well, this university in Virginia
had some stats, about one case where the cop was prosecuted with a camera, which is 8%.
The University of St. George Floyd.
Yeah. The University of St. George the Floydiest or something. It's like, oh my God.
With the counterfeit bananas.
Yeah. The uni's crest is a bunch of counterfeit bananas. Oh.
All right, let's go.
Right, let's go. Yes,
something dishonest or secretive at a crime scene. There's no reason for them not to go one step further and do something else dishonest. Cover their body camera or turn it off altogether.
Wait. You just said they're being dishonest with it on.
So now we're being dishonest with it off. you do know that they know when they switch their body cams off, and they get asked, why did you switch your body cam off? And they have to provide a good reason for switching their body cam off. And if they don't do that...
This is the dumbest... He's come to the conclusion that they're bad with them on, but they can be even worse with it off. You're like...
so they're just bad. So they're just bad.
You just proved that whether it's on or off, because we didn't have them before, there was very little difference.
Yeah.
So now it's even worse with that. They turn it off. So we're back to where we were before, which is totally fine.
Yeah. Oh, they turn their cameras off. Ooh, and kill black people. Ooh. Renegade Court, just grow the fuck up.
Logic is seriously being lost in this.
No matter what, he's realised he's brought something up that he knows disproves his point, and he's like, oh well, I've got to find some way to save us still bad, and I'll save us, switch them off, and it's like, yeah, but you just said that they needed them on, they always have them on because it's just surveillance of the public. It's like, no, they switch them off.
Yeah,
to do bad things. And
can you imagine if they started using body cams in whatever state, it doesn't matter, and they found out that 50% of the people who use them, or the officers that are doing whatever precinct training, are breaking the law or bending the law. Like, that would be a huge thing. They would correct that really quickly. But because it's less than, I don't know, we said 8% or whatever, I don't know how I got that number, then it's like, okay, yeah, in those cases, we're prosecuted. So they got the guys, the bad cops. It's like, that's good.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing.
Yeah.
It is a good, everyone agrees, it's a good thing. Okay.
Yeah, it's a good thing. They're catching the bad cops. Renegade Court's like, oh no, but they're only catching the really bad ones. It's like, yeah, the bad ones. Yeah, but what about the ones that stopped that black guy for speeding? It's like, yeah, he was breaking the law. Yeah, but it was such a minor offence, he shouldn't have got arrested. No, Renegade Court, that's not how the law works. Just because some white balding communist says it's not a big problem.
Yeah. All right, let's keep going.
Police body cameras only work when they want them to work.
What?
Okay.
You spend a long time on that.
You try to walk back your argument with the police officer, but he feels disrespected and decides to retaliate because he knows he has all the power. With his body camera off or covered, he tosses something into the backseat of your car. It's drugs, and he will claim that he has discovered this in open view. There are two
What show is he watching?
facts about the police and planted evidence.
The Shield?
First, the rash of recorded incidents in recent years, both from officers foolish enough to forget to turn off their body camera and from suspects who turn on the cameras on their own phones, suggest that police plant evidence all the time, and that we are only now able to prove this because of the proliferation of smartphones.
And body cameras. Because you just literally mentioned body oh my god.
So
you've literally just so the body cameras worked.
Yeah, they're good things. Great. We all agree.
So they're good things. Yeah, so we can all agree that are you deliberately being retarded?
Yeah, this is the same topic. We're still talking about body cameras. He just put a secondary category for evidence.
Over it. It's like, what is wrong with this? What is wrong with this person?
And he's saying that there's some bad cops who did it. It's like, yeah, we agree. That does happen. It does occur. And he stupidly kept his camera on. How retarded. Yeah, we agree.
Yeah, and he gets caught. So the person who has all that stuff planted gets proven to be innocent. Yeah, and that cop gets done. Yeah.
Body camera 2, bad cop 0. It's like, what?
Yeah, it's so what more do you want?
Yeah. It's just the system is working. I'm glad it's working. Fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, what is wrong with you? Why are you what? They got evidence to prove that this cop was crooked. How dare they? What? Yeah, that's the point of them.
Yeah. Anyway.
The second unfortunate fact is that there is no way to truly calculate how often this happens. It is done surreptitiously and is therefore unknown to any.
What do you want? Like some sort of like precog part of, I don't know, like I'm trying to think of like Asimov's psychometry or something where you could predict the future of humanity, and every month there's going to be a bad cop with a body camera planning drugs. You know, it's like, okay.
Like a fucking Minority Report thing.
Well, yeah, I mean, you could actually do that. I mean, it's not hard if you can tabulate for a given area where bad cops are. If there's so many, I don't know, maybe there are. You could say, okay,
Chicago.
Right. So let's. It doesn't really matter. We could say this happens every 2 years. We just don't know the frequency of, like, you know, every 6 months or, you know, 5 months in between. Yeah. There's going to be a prediction of this will happen again because, or in a higher frequency because there's much more police. So they just joined the force. They're young. They're not as incorruptible as we think. So there's probably going to be 3 this year or 4. You can do these basic guesses as you go about. So
yeah,
that's fair, but it's not foolproof. It's not like, oh, we're, you know, November is coming around. We still don't have one case. What's going on? Like, you still can't be accurate with these models, but it's safe to assume basic things because of a pattern in the past. That's why we have stats and probability. Yeah. So it's not just a matter of, you know, oh, we got more cops, they're all going to be bad. It's like, no, it's just probability.
Yeah.
Anyone but the police officer, and police departments do not keep databases of accusations of evidence planting. Why would they? Now, the police have pulled you over.
Yeah, because they get the cop when they fire him, if not prosecute him, and he goes to jail. Hey, you know, actually they do actually keep track of that, because if they do have a prosecution, then it's part of some docket of some.
Yeah. There's documentations. If a police officer gets prosecuted, there's a paper trail. What?
Yeah.
What? What the fuck is what?
It's called criminal court, Renegade Cut.
Yeah, it's a completely separate thing, and they will. It's also called a criminal record that the police officer will have.
Yeah, that's public information.
Yeah, the fuck is?
It's like, yeah, we just forget about court cases as soon as they're done. It's like, what? No.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because the police really forget about criminals' records and stuff. They're like, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, the FBI. They don't. No one has records. Yeah, no one cares.
Yeah. Why would we listen to fucking criminal records? No one gives a shit, mate.
Prosecutors are like, yeah, I did some cases last year. How many? I don't remember. Stuff happened. I forgot. You know. No one keeps track of this stuff anyway. I'm just a prosecutor. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like no one cares really.
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Covered their body camera, planted evidence, arrested you, and now you are handcuffed and trapped in a room with poor lighting.
How did we get here?
You have seen enough movies to know.
Poor lighting.
I've seen enough movies.
Poor lighting.
He's seen enough movies to know what's going on.
How many lights there are?
Oh, we're gonna take you to the chair. See, yeah,
This is great. He's back in his fictional world. We're 2/3 in. He's like, back to my.
Oh
world.
my god! It's like you're chained to a chair. Dick Tracy walks in and interrogates, and you're like, you're of Al Capone. See.
I mean, this is probably how it's gonna go down for him, but.
Oh boy.
Oh,
here we go.
Lord, give me strength.
Arrested you, and now you are handcuffed and trapped in a room with poor lighting. You have seen enough movies to know that you are about to be interrogated. What you may not realize is that the police are about to lie to you over and over to trick you into confessing. They either want you to confess to something that you did not do, or confess to something small that you did do, while telling you that if you do
or confess to something big that you did because you've actually broken the law.
Or you could say absolutely nothing if you watch as many shows as Renegade Cut says he does, where you have rights and you have no reason to say anything, And they can spin the yarn any way they want to get you to say something. It doesn't matter. That's like saying,
and all you say is
yeah, like
no comment.
Like if you want to accuse cops of being interrogators who lie, all interrogators have some degree of lying or stretching the truth or to get what they need. So you can certainly accuse people of being interrogators, and yes, interrogators lie, but that's normal. That's that's how they're taught. They say things to get on your good side, to talk about your hobbies or what you like, and et cetera, et cetera. Oh, I like that too. I like cars and this and that. This is normal stuff. So I'm okay with those white lies that interrogators use to capture criminals. I'm okay with that.
The thing is, if you've done nothing wrong, you can just pretty much say I've done nothing wrong. And they go, where were you? Just say where you were. Okay. Or just say no comment till I speak to no legal advice.
Yeah, exactly. So cops know how to talk to people and get them on their side and make them.
Also, I'm going to say, but don't shine a light into your face.
Yeah, I know.
And say confess, do it. That's not how they do these things.
They sometimes bring donuts and coffee if they're in there for a while because they want you to feel comfortable.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Anyway,
and sometimes you get brought in because they want to ask you questions about somebody else.
Exactly.
They've got.
And you're the only information they got or they could find.
Yeah.
All right. Here's Mad Ghost 4. Thanks for the 5. Just here. What's this communist saying about the police? Well, guess. I'm curious to see that this lead weight has to say about public servants. He's accusing them of being liars, obviously, from the title, but that body cams don't work, or they do, but not the way he wants them to, and that interrogators try to gain your confidence and might lie to you.
He's upset that body cams aren't sending more police to prison.
Yeah.
Because it turns out the police aren't actually raving psychopaths that just mow down innocent people.
Yeah.
He seems to think that the police are like the Terminator or something, and he's just mowing down wave after wave of innocent people. It's like,
and they happen to be black. They're all black. They just
they're all black. Yes, yeah. Jesus Christ.
There will be few, if any, consequences. The police have so many lies they can tell, and the courts almost always back them up. The police are allowed to lie about fingerprints and DNA. This is in service of obtaining a speedy confession before...
Right. They say that if they found your fingerprints at the scene, at that point you explain where you were at the time of the crime. Or you explain to them how your fingerprints got there. Because say if something happened in your house, you say, well, I lived there.
They could perform Limp Bizkit for all I care. Who cares? What's the big deal?
Police may lie about finding your DNA at the crime scene. That's where you say, that's impossible, this is where I was. So, right? The police may lie about polygraph tests. Polygraphs are useless, not even used in anything like that. They've not been used for years and years and years. It's a fucking... Police may lie about having a witness. Yeah, if they think you worked with somebody, you can say, yeah, well, your cohort has ratted you out. At which point you'll try and rat them out, getting you both in trouble. That's how they do it. Police may lie about recording conversations. They can't lie about recording conversations.
Yeah, those are. If they can't be permissible unless this is a very obvious. I don't know if you guys have heard about the rules regarding recorded conversations. You have to ask consent.
Yeah.
And if you don't, they're inadmissible. So it makes no difference. So there's all these things. It's police can lie to you to get what they want. It's it's called interrogation. This is normal. If he just focused on this, he might have a case just because interrogations are wrong. They lie to you. It's okay, yeah, but if you're the criminal, they're going to do what they can to get you to confess.
Yeah, it's very easy to get out of these lies that they say to him, because if you're innocent, you've got nothing to worry about.
Right, and either way, I don't care. They could do a song and dance. It makes no difference. You don't have to say anything. Yeah, they make that crystal clear at the start of the conversation.
Yeah, just say, I'm not going to say anything until I get legal advice.
Yeah, exactly.
Then you get legal advice. Then your lawyer can speak on your behalf. or your solicitor or whatever. This just seems like nitpicking, really. coming from us as well. It's like there's very simple things that why they do this stuff.
Yeah, it's like a hostage negotiator. Yes, we will definitely get $14 million in unmarked bills.
Yeah, and that airplane for you.
Yeah, no problem. Like, yeah, they lie. Why do you think they lie? Like,
yes, we're on the phone to Elton John right now. He will play Rocket Man as you leave the bank. Yes, we're doing it right now. He's agreed to it. No, Renegade Court. That's not how these things. Yes, don't worry. If you release the hostages, you can go free. You will not be. You will not be shot down in a hail of bullets.
Okay.
What?
Before a lawyer can advise the suspect. This is also in service of tricking the suspect into volunteering a DNA sample. People v. Mays and People v. Smith both say that the police can lie to you about polygraph tests. People v. Dominic says the police can lie to you about having witnesses. Police can lie about recording conversations. For example, they can say they are turning off the recording device to have an allegedly off-the-record discussion, but keep the recording device on anyway.
There's also CCTV inside these interrogation rooms as well,
exactly.
that they can use. You're always being recorded. It's just the fact that the recording on the tape is over, but they can use the other recordings. Like, they switch off the tapes, yeah, but then they use the CCTV in the room.
Yeah, so
that's still recorded.
They're technically not lying about stopping their own recording device. They didn't say anything about the camera.
Yes, you know when they press that pause and stop button, and they clearly show you. Also, they don't use that sort of stuff. What are we again? The 80s?
Unless you're like a private psychiatrist and they're paying them to get an assessment of someone, it doesn't happen. I've
got the DVD of my last interview at the police. A DVD. It's not like a tape. They give it to you.
Oh, wow.
In case they. Because then you give it to like your lawyer and solicitor if they carry on with the case. But obviously mine didn't, so I've still got it. It's not very long. It's like 4 minutes because obviously with what happened. But yeah, it's a DVD, so it's like a DVD recorder. So it's like not even DVD CD thing. So it's not like the old-fashioned tape things that he's showing here. It's like they have a remote, and you can see him pressing it and trying to figure it out because some of the cops are old. You're like, okay.
But like in the TV shows that I was watching in the 80s, they were like on tape.
Yeah,
this must be a new decision. Oppressing black people because they don't know how to operate DVD.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like he's taking anything from Columbo or something. Jesus Christ!
These people always turn out to be the most racist.
I just one more thing. Just one more lie.
Yeah, Columbo lied. Oh, what a horrible, horrible detective he was.
What a horrible bastard. Columbo, what a cunt.
He captured that murdering two-timing bitch. Oh my god, what a...
Yeah, he arrested Leonard Nimoy. What a bastard.
Okay.
Oh god.
Columbo with body camera.
Okay, so we could all say that interrogators lie to get what they need. Yes, this is normal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, People v. Steger says the police can lie to you about what will happen to your friends if you don't confess. Fraser v. Cup.
If a police lies about that, you're an idiot. Okay, that's retarded.
Your friend will go to jail if you don't confess this crime. No.
He's in the Arctic. He's never been in this country, sir.
My friend's the guy who got murdered. He's perfectly fine. Nothing bad's going to happen to him now. Police may lie about someone else implicating the suspect. Yeah, you cohorts or something. The police may lie about having enough evidence for a conviction. Yeah, and that's where you go, okay then, I'll see you in court.
And wait a second, isn't this all about people who are probably not innocent? Wouldn't they be lying to police to, cover up a crime.
Yeah.
So, is he assuming everyone who's accused is like innocent?
No, because he's not. Because he hates Kyle Rittenhouse. See, this is the problem. It's like
the people can lie.
This is the weird.
Yeah, you can't. In order to catch a liar, you can't lie, guys. You can never lie as a police officer in interrogation to a murder suspect. You can't do it. I'm sorry. You just can't pull that card out.
Yeah, you just can't bamboozle the suspects and get them. The best way to catch a liar out is to lie yourself.
Yeah,
because the person who's lying doesn't remember what they've said.
Yeah, it's like the police officer might be really good at capturing people and getting them to confess things by lying to them, and that's just one technique they have because they've been doing it for so long. But you know what? Well, that's bad. You can't capture bad guys.
Well, it's like saying me and my girlfriend watch a lot of the psychology things behind killers, and we watch a lot of the what detectives did to catch killers out. And it's like, with one of them, a girl tried to get her parents killed, but only succeeded in killing her mum. Her dad survived, and obviously her dad. But the dad told the police everything, but the police made out that they didn't have that information with the girl until right at the end, and just said, "We know you're lying. We've spoken to your dad. He's still alive," and she just broke down in tears and confessed everything because she knew she'd been caught out with all the lies. So they'd lied to her, but she was, a criminal.
Yeah. So
how's that bad?
This is a very classic scenario of trying to catch a liar, and if you're not going to lie to them to get them to get aroused or freaking out to break their story, then what the hell do you want these guys to do? Like were you here at this time of day? No. Okay, bye.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's called an alibi as well. You've got a solid alibi.
This is like, we don't want our cops to lie. We don't want our cops to draw weapons. It's like, what do you want your cops to do?
Sit back and let the communist revolutions, comrade.
It's like, this is a stupid logic. It's like, all the criminals can lie and carry guns, but not the cops. They can't lie or carry guns. It's like, wait a second, are you serious?
Imagine if say someone killed someone that Renegade Cut loved, and the police lied to catch the killer, and Renegade Cut's like, no, let him go free. You lied to catch him. It's not the right way. No, Renegade Cut be like, yes, arrest that person. Send them. And for someone who lies through his teeth constantly, he likes to say cops are liars.
Yeah, there's plenty. I'm sure if Whisp was here, she'd be talking about narcissistic personality disorder and the level of
narcissistic, socialist, communist,
and
evil.
And if you don't try to beat them at their own game, they're going to win. So lying is part of the tool set. Anyway, not a big deal.
Well, it's like, but the thing is, it's like I always say with my ex partner, the only reason why I managed to get even out of that relationship and do stuff is because I lied to catch her out on her lies. It's like she'd say something. She'd say, "Oh, I'm doing this." I'd be like, "I'm doing this for this person." I mean, "Oh, that's cool." Then I'd ring that person, get told what's really happening, and then use that information against her, as in saying, "No, you're lying," and then realise, you have to use it to beat these people because these people lie themselves a lot. But
all right, well, let's keep going.
No, lying's bad.
Here's Great Scott. He does realize the person getting interrogated can just ask for a lawyer, right? And the police threatening family and friends is just him somehow confusing the U.S. for China or North Korea. Cops here won't gulag and starve your family.
Yeah, it's like if the police officer says if you don't confess, we'll hurt your family.
Some other country, really.
Yeah, I was going to say, if the police officer says in an interview room, listen, if you don't confess to this crime, we'll make your family pay, your response is, this is all being recorded, this will come up in court.
All right, we're almost done. We got about 6 minutes left. Okay.
Yeah.
says the police can lie about someone else confessing to the suspect's involvement in a crime, prompting them to confess whether they did it or not. These tactics sometimes create false confessions, especially considering People v. Gurrell says the police can pretend that they have enough evidence to put the suspect away for a long time, and that confessing is their best way to avoid a lengthier sentence. According to the National Registry of Exonerations, 27% of exonerated prisoners who were wrongfully convicted of homicide gave false confessions. How does this happen? Well, the police lie about how much evidence they have against a homicide suspect, then claim that in order to avoid life in prison or the death penalty, the suspect must sign a confession. Later, when the suspect discovers that the police have no such evidence, their false confession alone...
Okay, there's a lot of retards in the world who fall for simple things. If you know you're innocent, and the police say we've got tons of evidence, literally just say to your lawyer, "We'll go to court." You don't just say, "Yeah, I've done it," when you haven't done it.
Yeah, there's legal precedent to retract confessions, so it's not the be-all, end-all.
Yeah, you can say whatever you want in the interview room, and then when you go into court, you can retract your guilty plea. Why do people not know anything about the law?
Yeah, this is it's pretty obvious stuff. Yeah,
it's a very important part of the world, and people just don't seem to have any knowledge of it. It's very weird, but I guess that's just me. I just guess I just wanted to pay attention to make sure that I knew what my rights were.
Yeah. All right. Anyway.
Is often enough to persuade the jury. Outside of the interrogation room, police at your door can lie to you about how quickly they can obtain a search warrant. If you ask for a warrant, the police can tell you that they can have one in minutes, so you may as well open up now. In reality, if they had enough already, they would have not come without a warrant, and a warrant takes more.
Yeah, that's why you stand your ground. Well, you've got rights, but just know your rights.
I think he spent way too much time in North and South Korea.
I think he's watching too many bad police stories or reading too many bad police stories. This is so silly.
No, cops will rarely go up to someone's house they haven't got a warrant for and say, we don't need a warrant, because they know that whatever they find without a warrant can't be used.
Yeah, it's just so stupid. Like, why?
The warrant isn't just permission to go into someone's house. It's permission to use evidence within that place that they find.
Yeah, so something's up with cops acting like that, and you can call that in. He's saying some weird things, and I didn't think that was legal. Guess what? You can get that guy fired. Yeah,
and now that there's body cams, they're not going to do it because they're being recorded.
Yeah.
And now that people have smartphones, people are going to record the police.
Can you imagine a police officer knocking your door? I'd like to come in. It's like, no. You have to tell me why.
Yeah. No, I don't.
I can get a warrant in minutes. It's like, okay, you want to wait outside for that, or like?
Yeah, it's like, well, get comfy on my doorstep. I'm gonna go back inside. I'm locking these doors, by the way. Just
this is never gonna happen. Random police officer shows up. Gotta come in.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. Well, I saw that you're black, and I since I've switched my body cam off, I'm going to come in and shoot you. And all this sort of stuff. Good God.
Anyway.
This really is someone watching some really bad 90s cop drama.
I like the
Did he watch?
What was it? All Columbos are bad.
Yeah.
Oh.
I feel
does he have a video on Colombo?
I hope not. I feel like this guy watched Baywatch Nights, and that's how he thinks all police procedures are.
I gotta say, some flick from the '60s where they try to make it more romantic and edgy. than it was. Usually noir is like that in the stories. I don't know about TV shows though.
The Wire. I bet he watched The Wire.
Yeah, The Wire,
That's
The Shield, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I bet he goes, "That's how police and brought stuff."
It's like no,
it's not. That's called dramatization.
Yeah.
That's not a real thing.
All right.
Idris Elba isn't actually a police officer.
Few minutes. It's a legal document. So, what should you actually do if you are being arrested by a police officer? The following advice comes from legal...
That guy's running with a gun.
Is that a gun?
It looks like a gun.
I can't tell. It's like, what is happening in this scene?
This guy is running with a gun, yes. But it's only a little cry.
Please kill me.
It's like, what are you doing? Cops are after you. It's like, you're done. It's over.
Yeah, game over, boys.
This isn't a movie because you're going in a straight line. So
yeah. Also, you're not running that fast. Actually.
Yeah, I know.
You're going pretty slow. In fact, it's kind of embarrassing, really.
I really want to know where he gets these clips because this can't be like public stuff.
It's probably like some specific channel that like lets you have these for a certain price, like these stock footage.
He has to buy this. There's no way this is free.
Yeah. Our stock footage,
including but not limited to the United Civil Liberties Union. Not my amateur.
Seriously, this is a terrible scene.
What is happening?
The police could catch this guy by just getting out of the car.
or just run him over. It's like, what the hell?
Just stop. You're not even running. This is embarrassing. I
can
even
accelerate.
Have the microphone out.
I can accelerate and hit you over the head with my baton. Just stop it.
Yeah, it's just like, what are you doing this?
Why are you running?
Why are you gay?
It's so silly.
It's got no points. This is ridiculous.
Opinion. Many states require the suspect to give their name, but they are not obligated to provide any further...
Actually, no, you don't have to say a damn thing.
Yeah.
Does he know about that?
I don't think he does.
What? No, you're right.
Okay. 3-4 minutes left. Here we go.
Information. This includes your address, where you're going, what you are doing, where you were born, or your citizenship. You do not have to consent to a search. The police may feel they have probable cause to do so, but your objection should be noted in case their search did not have probable cause. If you did not consent to the search, and it is later found that the search was illegal, that may be helpful in suppression of evidence and defense in general at your potential trial. Remain...
No. If they don't find anything, they're not taking you to trial. What? If you get searched and there's no evidence, they're not doing anything.
So now he's saying you do not have to speak to the police except to request a lawyer. So what was the hell? Why did you say you had to say your name beforehand? Like this? Yeah. Which one is it?
It's not making any sense. It's not making any sense.
It's either like these are something he should have figured out before he had this crazy idea of a video. But writing this sentence out and then having another sentence next to it, like, wait a second, I'm saying two contradictory things here.
Yeah.
That's weird. Anyway, it's called the Miranda warning. That's all it is.
Yeah.
And police have to do that before they start doing anything else, because that's one of the first rights you have. So.
Yeah. It's like the Miranda rights or something, isn't it?
I don't know the exact phraseology, but yeah. It's...
Silent, except to request a lawyer. When requesting a lawyer, never make the request ambiguous. Do not say, I think I should speak to a lawyer, or anything similar to that.
Why?
Say, I want a lawyer.
What? It's the same thing. I want to speak to a lawyer. Gee, I wonder what that would involve, getting a lawyer next to me so I can speak to them.
Yeah.
Like, Renegade Cuss is the last person I'm gonna ask for legal advice.
It's like I'm gonna
Yes.
I'm gonna randomly pick a lawyer from the phone book with my one phone call and call up a lawyer and say, "Hey, how's the weather out there?"
Yeah. Is it still snowing? Yeah. No, okay, that's it. That's all I wanted to know. Take care. Bye then. Anyway, about this double homicide you're accusing me of.
This is so silly. I want a lawyer. No. I want
to enunciate.
a Siamese lawyer from Uganda.
You've got to bellow out. Imagine you're part of the Royal Shakespeare Company. Bellow out to the backstage. I want a lawyer.
And not too expensive, not too pricey either.
I want a medium range lawyer.
I almost thought you would say medium rare lawyer.
Yeah, a medium rare, like steak. Oh my god.
Any mild ambiguity allows police officers to claim that your request was unclear, even when it is obvious they know exactly what you are asking. Any claim from the officer that you are not in trouble and that they only want to talk is a lie.
There's so many things you can complain about the police itself, but like Renegade Cuz just ruining all of it.
If you are being carried or handcuffed to a interrogation room, shit has gone down. Okay? This isn't like, hey, can we talk to you down at the station? No, this is, you're coming with us. Here's the warrant. You're under arrest for XYZ. Ba 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 ba. You're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Most police officers, for whatever, are pretty nice. They're like, okay, sir, well, we'd like to talk to you, da-da-da-da. And you could have resistance. Obviously, they're not going to put up a fight unless there's something serious going down. But if they don't accuse you of anything, then they just want information. And that's all it is. It happens a lot.
I just feel... Yeah, police officers just say we're going to have a talk to you, then they're usually just going to have a talk to you.
Yeah. Ask about something else. Where were you? Blah, blah, blah. It's like, oh, yeah, I was here. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, right, okay. Do you know, or we can say, do you know where so-and-so was? And you're like, oh, he was blah, 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 blah. That's usually what they're doing.
Right.
Just gathering information. And just... don't know what else to say. Just
and usually they just call. They'll just pick up the phone and dial because they know the numbers in the area. And they'll just call the home and say, hey, something happened and we want some information. Can you help us out?
Yeah.
That's it. They're nice people.
Yeah.
Trouble has
I would say
found
there are
you.
a few bad eggs.
The officer
I know, but if they're doing their job right, they have to be nice to the public in general. They can't just knock on doors and barge in.
I understand that. That's what I'm saying. It's just like 9 times out of 10, they're perfectly fine with you and won't have any problems.
This is the
if you do have.
This is the fear-mongering narrative that he's trying to keep espousing because I don't know. It was the end of the month. It was December, the end of the year, and he's like, "Okay, I gotta."
End of December.
Yeah, I gotta keep saying cops are bad because they lie about getting you interrogation.
Hulk was saying it. He was probably just writing the George Floyd "all cops are bad" thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Surprised he didn't use that. Oh, he did use the hashtag. Look at that. All cops are bad and Blue Lives Matter? Aren't those two contradictory ones? Blue Lives Matter means cops matter?
Yes.
Yeah.
Probably so. Like the search results are gonna pick his video up as like a counter argument against it.
Oh yeah, that's what he's doing.
He's like a real grifter, so
yeah, I know.
It's not beyond him.
It's only trying to make you put down your guard. Never speak to the police during interrogation or sign anything without a lawyer present. Do not sign the Miranda rights waiver. The police may continue asking you questions even after you have requested a lawyer.
Even if you sign the waiver, you can still shut your mouth up. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. they may ask you questions, yeah, but if you said I'm not talking until I see my lawyer, just don't talk. Don't be retarded. I don't know how many times I have to say this. Just if you say I'm not talking until I see a lawyer, and then you start talking, you're digging your own grave.
Yeah. There's actually a really good video on YouTube about never speak to a cop. It's a lawyer telling people like you get nothing out of it. There's no bonuses for you. You're not. At worst, you might be implicating yourself, even if you have nothing to do with the scenario.
Yeah, exactly. Just wait for a lawyer, and then
but
talk to your lawyer about
this is when you're already at the station. If you're just like at your home and you're just cop knocks on your door, asks for help, it's like, yeah, who cares? Whatever. I heard a loud noise in the middle of the night. Who called that in? I don't know. I heard it was my neighbor. He started the lawnmower at 3 a.m. or whatever.
It's. Did you hear something? Yeah, I heard a loud bang. It's like, okay. Anything else? No. So I went back to bed because it was fucking 3 a.m. I've got work at 7. Like, what do you think I am? Fucking neighborhood watch?
Yeah. I have my spy camera that sees in the dark. Officer, would you like to see?
Yeah. Yeah. I usually point it towards Mrs. Miggins' window, but since she's got a bit saggy in her late 40s, I've turned it to actually her 13-year-old daughter's. I've got 12 DVD cassettes. Do you want to have a look at them?
Oh, God.
What?
The joke went a bit too far.
Not really. Couldn't have locked down.
Okay. All right.
Oh, this is just stupid though. This is just.
Guys, don't kill anyone when when you're in the police precinct. It's like, oh, okay.
If you've murdered someone, don't talk to the police. Yeah, I know Renegade. God, I wouldn't attempt to.
This is a common tactic, but you are under no obligation to answer these questions alone. They're hoping you will slip up and say something incriminating or make a false confession. The only thing you should say is your request for a lawyer, repeated the exact same way each time so that they know you are...
Do you have some experience there, Renegade Cut, that you've gone through to say that?
I want a lawyer. Seriously, Mr. Renegade Cut. It doesn't matter what lawyer you have. We have over 300,000 images on your computer. No lawyer saving you here. I want a lawyer. Oh, man. You just ask them once and they get it, yeah. That's it. There's nothing else. It's not...
I'm imagining he's doing it in like the Taco Bell dog voice. No quiero uno, abogada.
One of the best ways to get out of the police arresting you is shit your pants and throw your feces at them. Show your dominance in the interview room. Thanks, Renegade Cut.
Oh, God.
Sigma Grindson.
Yeah. Smear your feces on the wall. Show me you're not messing around.
Kill Whitey, kill Whitey.
Kill everyone in the room. Show your dominance. Write, I want a lawyer in their blood 400 times. Truly get that message across.
Draw stick figures and then have them point to a comic who says, I want a lawyer. A flip book while you have to pass the time.
What?
Okay, here's Great Scott. Last one, but everything he is saying can be applied to the federal government and the plethora of intelligence agencies, executive branch of the United States. Your local cop isn't federal.
Yeah, it's not even that anymore. It's just, what is this? What? Oh well.
Yeah, I thought cops are liars, but apparently, we're going to learn not to talk to cops because Miranda rights. It's like, thanks, we know, we've heard of them.
Yeah.
You learn something new with Renegade Cut. It's like the stuff you probably learned when you were 4.
Yeah, just wow.
Watching Columbo or whatever you did. I don't know.
Yeah. I watched Murder, She Wrote. Now I know all about the police procedures. So, yeah, okay. Just wait until an old woman turns up.
Oh.
Stonewalling them.
Oh my God,
there is
Miss
no
Marple.
hope in interrogating you before the lawyer arrives. Police are hoping that the wait between the arrest and the arrival of your lawyer...
Oh my God. Say lawyer one more time in a paragraph, sir.
Yeah, you've only said it like 600 times. Forget it. Ask for a lawyer. Lawyer. By the way, I have shares in a lawyer.
Even when the lawyer comes, ask for another lawyer until they give you 3.
Yeah.
Ask the funny lawyer about the objection. Hold it.
No.
Take that.
No, it's like that. Ask for more lawyers. Outnumber the police 4-1 with lawyers. Show your dominance.
Have a black lawyer, have an Asian lawyer, and then when you're not happy, ask for a Nicaraguan lawyer.
Yeah. Then maybe get a female lawyer. She won't do much, but that's all about that diversity.
Here's the bad ghost for. Thanks for the 5. I would like to point out that 2 officers were just shot to death in New York City while this stream is going. Oh my God.
Oh no.
By Renegade Cut?
Yes. You know what you should do? You should get a lawyer.
Oh, of course.
Whoever shot him, just get a lawyer. Just demand a lawyer repeatedly. Make sure those cops don't lie about you.
Yeah, they were shot in Harlem during a domestic violence call.
Oh, that's a shame. That actually is that sounds really sarcastic. No, that really is a shame. People being killed on their jobs shouldn't happen. Especially responding to domestic violence. Did they catch the person who killed the cops? Or is he still on the loose? Or do we not know?
We don't know.
Not good.
All right. 2 minutes left.
Will be enough to make you crack. If you call a lawyer, the police cannot listen in. But if you call someone besides a lawyer...
Okay, that's like the 17th time he said lawyer in this video.
Yeah. If I say lawyer enough times, people will go insane and think I'm talking sense.
The police can and will listen to your conversation. Do not say anything incriminating to a friend over the phone. The police are listening.
If you say something incriminating to someone over the phone, they've got a right to arrest you. Hey Gary, yeah, you know that body we've got stuffed in the living room? Yeah, bury it in the back garden. Oh no, they just arrested me for some reason, I don't know. Why would you? Yes, I decided to say all this in a police station on a phone. Yeah.
All right.
Why would you?
All he has to say is don't say anything. It's like, thanks.
Just wait for your lawyer.
Yeah, no, lawyer. Just keep saying lawyer till you're red in the face. Scream
How many more times do I need to say lawyer to produce
Oh.
Make a song out of it. Make a song and dance.
Crab flap a crab and scuttle left to right saying, I want a lawyer.
Yeah, break the chair legs and start drawing a lawyer on the walls.
I want a lawyer.
Make a rap song out of wanting a lawyer.
Yo, I want a lawyer. Now. Just
I'm not black, but you think I am.
Yeah. This is not.
Or you're getting the can. I don't
know. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's say no time for making a rhyme. Chicka 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 Slim Shady. Something. I don't know.
Okay.
Even if you're calling on your phone, they're still trying to listen in on your side of the conversation.
How would they do that?
Officers' badges, numbers, and names.
With their body cams.
Yeah, how would they? They're like pressed up against the glass. It's like, what does he say?
They have like someone who can read the lips.
No, but like, they're all leaning in. behind the person turns around, they all pretend to be doing something behind them. Like looking at file or something.
You're
like
not
that.
safe on your phone. They're watching you. They're reading your lips.
So when you're on your phone, make sure you just keep saying, "I want a lawyer" to your friend, and your friend will say, "Well, why don't you call one?"
Document the names and badge numbers. Excuse me, officer, can I get your badge number? It's like, no, can you ask me where you were last night?
It's like, but like, okay, I'm saying obviously UK again. They'll say their name and badge number when they start the proper interview, because they have to write down paperwork of who did the interview, and then you'll find out who it was who interviewed you. So, like, okay. But okay, you've got the documents of everybody. You murdered your grandma. At least you've got all the documentations of who arrested you. Glad you could use that.
Oh yeah, this is very effective for actual criminals.
Yeah. Oh no, you didn't do anything, and the police questioned you, and then they let you go. Well, I've got all your badges.
Yeah, can you imagine the rigmarole you have to go through not to talk to a police officer and record all their badges for nothing? For you're completely innocent.
Yeah, it's like you're completely innocent. Yeah. You're being let go. We're not pressing charges against you. Well, I've got for wasting 2 hours of my time. Well, you did just rip your clothes off, scroll on the floor, and go, "I want a lawyer" for an hour and a half. So there's not much you really could have done. We were going to let you go earlier, but
you went for a crazy tirade about wanting a lawyer and broke all the chair legs and started attacking with. So he locked you in the room.
Yeah, if you start flinging your feces all over the place, so we just thought we'd just leave you there for a couple of hours, let you calm down.
Oh boy.
Also, the parking ticket is out of date now. We can't really enforce it.
Document everything. Police believe they are under fire, not from criminals, but from the media and judges, and that there is nobody to trust but themselves. In truth, there is still an enormous amount of news media and popular media that worships police officers, and the judicial system tends to grant more and more power to the police.
Gee, I wonder if they're not on my political aisle.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's absolutely insane that he hates the police, yet they literally stood by while communists burnt most American cities. But no. Please tell me how everyone supports the police. No, please tell me how places got literally defunded their own police force because of woke ideology.
Yeah,
like yourself, Renegade Court. No. Please tell me how they're wrong.
Yeah, my political opponents all like security in the law. Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Even that, but every person part of a society pays taxes for their cops anyway. So it's like, even if you don't like the cops, you're really glad they exist, because without the cops, you're screwed. So
the thing is, the idea of a police force is good. It's just the fact that it has to be properly run.
Right. Yeah.
But
so
you can't just say, "Well, I'm a raging communist. I don't like them because they stopped me from committing crimes." That's not how it works. No.
Even if you want reforms or don't like the police, you're glad that you still have them. They're not like 100% corrupt. There could be a few bad apples, as there are in every organization, and you want to weed those out. And that's why you're against whatever laws are preventing that. But you're still glad they're there.
Yeah. You're not going to just
in the interim while they get better. So it's like, this is silly.
Yeah, it's like, no offense, but but every single communist is just going to disband the police and replace it with their own version of the police,
which ends up being a worse example. And they want the old police back, or they end up hiring new police who are actually trained to be police.
Or in most cases, they get arrested by said police force and thrown in the gulag.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's the same old story.
Or they actually get shot and killed, but
Yeah, shot or killed, yeah.
Anyway, this is like the fourth time he's shown this guy, and we'd have no context for this.
I don't care about slightly overweight police officer, and then guy who looks like the Fonz behind him.
Yeah, the old Fonz.
Yeah. An old Henry Winkler, whatever his name is.
But I think he doesn't like them because they're mostly white. So,
I mean, yeah, but look at all of them wearing masks. Isn't that good, Renegade Corps? Or I don't know.
Well, one of us is snow stuck out, so that's not good.
all right.
Oh well, he's killed them all.
There are so many excuses given to police officers, a preposterous amount of leeway and presumption of innocence. So much
Presumption of it. Yeah, that's how the criminal system works.
Yeah, it's like you're presumed innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that in like your favorite place of northern South Korea, you just line up against a wall and shot.
Yeah, why would he say that? Like, why do we presume this person is innocent just because he's a cop? It's like, no. It's not just because he's a cop. It's because that's how the law works.
It's also because he's a human being with rights. And he has a right to defend himself. Yeah.
As someone said in the chat, this is not ancient Rome.
This isn't just like mid-90s North Korea either, to be honest with you. You have a right to a trial. And if the evidence proves that you're innocent, well, you're innocent. And if the evidence proves that you're guilty, well, you're guilty, because if you yes, there's miscarriages of justice. That does happen. But they're so few and far between, but that's why they get like media attention. And that's why they're so...
The default is innocent, so even if you do have evidence showing you're guilty, it's up to the jury or the judge to determine whether you're guilty or not.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yes.
No offense, if you're innocent and you get found guilty, you've had to fucking screw up something majorly somewhere.
Yeah, look at this. Immigrants love law and order. I bet you they do. I bet you they love coming to America or any first world country and love the laws that protect them.
Yeah, because now there's not roving gangs
or cartels or just marauders or just animals.
Yeah.
Like, pick a problem that people die from. America's pretty safe comparatively speaking.
Yeah.
Even more so, American cities are more safe than my city, which is amazing.
Yeah. But Megan, you've got moose there. They're dangerous out. So
No, the orcas that are hunting for.
Oh, the killer whales. Yeah,
the deadly cycle of orcas versus moose. Yeah.
Moose. Yeah.
Metropolitan.
Metropolitan cities. Yeah. Downtown Toronto, the Moose Gang and the Orcas.
They go all the way down the St. Lawrence to Toronto.
I just imagine like the West Side Story, but like with orcas and moose. Just an orca flipping a coin somewhere.
I should have waited to ask Sidar to make merch about orcas fighting.
Yes,
I would have bought
make it happen.
I would have bought a T-shirt with that. Yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
Okay.
In fact, that there is an entire movement of police fetishists and apologists who not only swallow their lies, but ask for more. The accusation that the police are dishonest is met with, "Well, I know cops personally, and they have always treated me right." As if the accusation against the modern centralized police were merely
Yes, because one bad apple isn't going to say that all of them are that as shit as them.
Yeah, but listen
if we're going with these examples, then like every time you're advocating for like that kind of political system, which I'm not going to name, and I'm like bringing up an example of like some other one that is 8,000 kilometers away from the US, and like you can't fucking defend yourself because like that's like one bad example, so like everything else is bad as well. Okay, shut the fuck up.
But notice his language. The modern centralized police. What are you on about? What? So we should have not centralized police, just random different police forces all over the place. Just neighborhood watchers. So all laws are different wherever you go. What do you mean, like now in America, where all laws are different? We get it. You're a communist. You don't like the police because they stop you with your revolution. It's understandable. That's it. That's literally it.
Yeah.
That's his
I just don't know, like, this mindset. Like, how can you like treat an entire like force? Like, okay, I also have like these kind of prejudices against dealing with the law enforcement because whenever I had to do that, like, I had like really bad experience. Especially like last time when I came back from like a week or two trip elsewhere, and I was treated by like the local police as like, oh, what are you even doing here? Are you even like from here? I said like, dude, I'm speaking fluent Hungarian. What the fuck are you expecting? Am I like a Russian spy now?
Yeah,
but like, so, whatever. I still believe like there are like some good people there. And they are doing supposedly the job.
Yeah, but you can't like. I've had bad experience with the police. Don't think all the police are bastards.
Oh yeah.
I think like in my local area, I think a lot of them are lazy. Like they don't really want to. They enjoy getting paid for their job, but they don't really want to. Exert any extra effort. But does that make them liars and bad? No, but because they're still good police officers. So, but whatever. I'm not from the University of Virginia or whatever it is, so my opinions don't count.
St. George of the Floyd.
Yeah.
All right, we got less than a minute. Here we go.
And not directly at the system itself. They say, well, what's the alternative? As if alternatives have never been proposed, or as if the modern police were an ancient, universal institution instead of what it is, something that emerged in the 19th century to protect capital.
No! Robert Peel invented the police force in the 1800s because of rampant crime and the knowledge that there needed to be a unified police force in Great Britain. And that system that was set up in the UK spread around the globe.
What did he say, to protect capital?
Yeah.
What? Where did that come from?
Because the police were invented in a capitalist country, so it must be to protect capitalism.
Oh.
Was the UK free market capitalism at the time?
It was like 1860s or something, or even earlier.
Yeah, it was earlier.
1830s or something?
1829, yeah.
1829, yeah. Is it Robert or Richard Peel?
Let me check.
Because they used to be
sure
called
about the
Robert Peel.
Yeah, because they used to be called peelers. But yeah, that's why he set it up, and it spread around the globe and everything. Because it was such a good like system that was made. Because it was like a professional police force. Everything else had been like town watch and amateur,
So if he was arguing for like the removal of freedoms and liberties as a result of the police force, then that would be a little bit more acceptable, because that was like, okay, yeah, the police do take away your rights. They have the right to kill you. This is true. So if you want to approach it from that angle and say, there's all these cases of people being shot and killed by police. This is a horrible thing. It should never happen. Like, yeah, I agree with you. That should never happen. You have to build a narrative and an argument along those lines. And say, they've been disproportionately killing blacks, and here's the proof. And you're like, okay, those are dead bodies. I can't argue with dead bodies. Mm-hmm. So if you came with that example and saying we should have our own police force, we should administer how we want, it's like, oh, you're asking for your own laws and your own system of governing, because that's effectively what you want, because you don't want to remove them. He has no solution. He just says there are other solutions. I'm like, great, use those and argue for those if you don't like this current system.
Well, he wants a different system. Well, okay, we'll have a look at a system that was fought up by people who have the same idea as Renegade Cut. So anyway, with Chaz, they just shot black people. They just armed random people.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what their solution is, but it's like, dude, if you're going to make an argument about fixing things or changing things for the better, you haven't done so yet. You just said there are, of course, other alternatives. It's like, and
they are. I don't know, kill everyone in the whole wide world. So
because this whole thing that a person who happens to be a police officer is lying is like, well, they have to lie in certain cases, as we saw with interrogation. They have body cams, which seems to be the great equalizer for everything. And you just don't like the results, which is weird. Yeah. And now you're like, oh, Miranda rights. Guys, remember Miranda? It's like, thanks. That has nothing to do with the topic, but thank you. So it's all these bizarre statements when all you really want is to reform or change or, I don't know, have military police. I don't know what he wants. Something.
Yeah, but it's gone from all cops are liars to, but the cops are only made to protect Capitol. It's like, what?
Yeah, that's weird. I don't know where that came from.
Well, he's a communist. Everything that he doesn't agree with.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I want to know his reference to that statement because we don't all know the history, the exact history of police, but we know we could trace it back and why.
Yeah, and it's like so simple to realize. It's a bit like
as a city grows big, or as a village grows bigger, it needs someone to administer law and order, and someone to come in and break up fights and see who's right and who's wrong. So that's how we have laws. That's what we need, laws, and we need more laws as metropolises grow. And that's just how it goes. That's why lawyers and cops and judges have all these. I don't know in your cities, but in my city, it's there's always a huge backlog of cases. That it takes like almost a year now to see a recent case. So people are held in prison or whatever on bail for at least a year. And that's, I think, just in criminal court. I don't know about civil court. I think that might be a little faster. But holy hell, there's a backlog of crime. So it happens. And to do away with that is like, no one's going to want to live in your city. I'd pack up if Toronto had some weird revolution of the cops. I'd be like, I'm out of here. I'm not going to live here.
Yeah.
Hell, I'm still looking at Florida. It's still looking really good these days. If things don't change in the next few months.
Oh yeah.
Never mind the nice weather down there, but it's freezing.
All the alligators.
All the alligators.
Yeah.
I have gone to Florida.
Just move to Texas. Well, it'll be fine.
Texas, Arizona, Florida, yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah. You could be a cowboy for a week.
All right.
Just say y'all.
Here we are, still at the mercy of an institution that controls the people through violence.
What?
Through intimidation.
What are you talking about?
And most commonly, through deception. No. Cops are liars.
No, they're not.
Stop falling for their lies.
No.
Such as?
What? No.
An anarchist watches The West Wing, Renegade Cut. Oh my god.
He's not an anarchist. The bloke wouldn't know what an anarchist was if it fucking fondled his ball sacks and came in his eye socket.
To say a communist is an anarchist is to say, to pick two opposites. Big government or no government? What do you want? It's like, what?
Mm-hmm.
He wants a government that has a police force that is exactly the kind of political leaning that he wants it to be.
I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if we got any stream memes. Oh, we got a whole bunch. Oh, hell. Lots of video from Joe Crazy. Joe, I'm not going to play those. Those will take too long.
Joe, just stop. Joe.
Whisp? What? Why is there... Whisp has posted a small car.
2 small cars.
One of them has a pretty lady. I don't know what the car is. Like, what's going on?
It's a car.
Yeah.
Did we talk about cars?
Oh, because it's a BMW. Oh.
All right. POV. You're about to be oppressed simply for being a drunk driver. It's not like there's laws against that or something.
Yeah.
Sir, have you been pissing tonight? Oh my
God.
What is going on here?
I don't want to know.
I
Moving quickly on.
I hope that's beer, but I don't know what's going on. How Renegade Cut thinks interrogations work. What color is my underwear? You slap.
Oh.
The cops are she wants. Replacement for Minneapolis police. A bunch of
gangs
with their pants down to their knees.
Yeah.
What the?
It's either a bunch of gangsters or a bunch of faggots. Either. I don't know.
What those are.
Yes.
Cole Phelps, ace detective. You fucking.
Oh,
there's a great line.
That's the scene that I was on about with like Renegade Cut being angry about it. You fucking
Are you a
boys.
madman?
Yeah, are you a madman?
Oh my god. What libs think happened, what actually happened.
Oh.
I will record everything, Lisa.
Yes.
Renegade Cut's thoughts on Kyle Rittenhouse to answer the Who's Allison question. He's another X-Channel Awesome reviewer?
Who's Allison?
All right.
Anyone who said either this kid's life is over or I hope he grows from this experience underestimated how much the far right wanted a cherub-based boy, prince of fascism. Look around, it was always going to be this.
What?
Because he went to the December 18th America Fest. That's a far right. What? The America Fest is the far right? When was this?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know how America works anymore.
Any festival that celebrates being American is far right. Yeah.
Here is some blonde Nazi girl. I don't know. What the hell is this? Where's our local German to answer the question?
It's just like this Aryan propaganda, and the same like Kyle Rittenhouse is exactly the same.
Really? He's replying to himself with this picture. Okay, whatever.
Yes, I'm so glad he got 215 likes for that. Well done, Renegade Cut.
Yeah.
Well done, Leon. I hope you sleep comfortably at night.
Renegade has watched too much Menace to Society. What is this show?
That's not. Yeah.
I've never actually seen it, so I don't know.
Yeah.
What you just said.
Yeah.
Is one of the, yeah. Okay. This is every time we watch Renegade Cut though. So.
Yeah.
Wah 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 wah. Psst, so are they getting any of this? Yeah, Charlie Brown. Anytime the adults speak, it's wah 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 wah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Cops beat Chinese man after asking for his name. Oh, so never. I've lost
faith in us. Even our police says "fuck you."
Oh boy, that's great. Good stuff.
Oh.
Believe science, but you said that science, math, and logic are tools of whiteness.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh.
This is the best Atari 2600 game. Yes, this is real. Communist mutants from space? Okay. I've never heard of that, but interesting. When you ask for the full context behind a police killing, Black Lives Matter. Don't ask questions. Just get outraged and then get excited for next outrage.
Next outrage. Yeah, that is true.
I like the Twitter check mark. You got the
Communist.
Hammer and sickle. Then you got the is that,
Antifa. Yeah.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Why are you gay?
Why are you gay?
What Renegade Cut believes a typical police officer looks like.
Yeah, I think he does.
Yeah, possibly. You guys should watch this later. Insane Nutter, Chris Rock, How Not to Get Your Ass Picked Up by the Police.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was Chris. I think I saw this already. It's pretty good. The source that Renegade Cut used to learn more about the police procedures. 21 Jump Street? Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, the movie.
Oh my god! You've got to play this LA Noire clip.
All right, how long is it?
It's not that long.
5 seconds.
Left-wing leaning parasite. You expect me to sit here and listen to your drivel?
I love it because it's like us to Renegade Cut. You left wing parasite.
Cop, ma'am, why did you go after him with a baseball bat? Well, see, it all started about 10 years ago. I just graduated high school and I had to get a job. Cue incoherent, long-winded, unnecessary backstory. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah. Actually, talking to any woman about anything, that's pretty much what's going to happen.
Yeah. Sorry, you know Sandra? Yeah, Sandra from Hairdressing? No, I have no idea who you're on about. Anyway, well, she knows Denise. Who the fuck's Denise? Anyway, Denise is like the second cousin, Margaret, knows this guy. Oh my fucking god. Kill me now.
Okay. Me, officer, why are you arresting me? This is medical marijuana. I have a card right here in my pocket. The cop, first of all, this is crack cocaine. Secondly, that's a Yu-Gi-Oh card. Well, I guess in certain jurisdictions, Yu-Gi-Oh cards are illegal. So.
I'm saving that one. That one's been saved.
All right. Any cop that makes it to retirement, it's Thomas the Tank Engine. It was time for Thomas to leave. He had seen everything.
Oh, it's like when we get to the end of the Renegade Club video.
Yeah, I know. Fantastic memes. I mean, we don't even have to try. You guys have to watch the video. You get inspired by it.
Yeah.
Everything it said.
Yeah. Oh,
trying to find a good spot to pause on. There's a good one. Black person getting pulled over by a cop. How dare they? Anyway, that was almost 3 hours. Good job, guys. Holy hell. I think we should enjoy our weekend. If not, it's already a weekend for Hawk and you. So I'm going to go enjoy my weekend or my Friday night.
Yeah, it's my Saturday morning. Oh, my dear. Dear Lord.
Well, guys, that was our Renegade Cut of the Month. Thank you so much for tuning in. Keep the suggestions coming, of course. We'll see you tomorrow, or if not, I don't know how these days off work. Mateus is like...
It's Wednesday, Thursday until it's not Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah, it seems to be random, but I don't know. I'm busy during the week, so weekends are better for me. But whatever is okay for everyone else, I have no problems jumping in.
So Mateus is your manager right now?
I think so. It sounds like he's organizing everything, and I'm just like, all right, whatever. I'm okay with that.
Well,
the Brazilian gods have decided that you cannot stream today.
Anyway, thank you.
We must bring them tribute.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Mateus, but thank you anyway. Thanks so much, guys, for tuning in. We'll talk to you soon. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.